Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming.
You're chatting gas. Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
Welcome back to the club, brought to you by Super 6. And here to brighten up my day is Adam McKola. How you doing, mate?
Whoa. What are these pre-writtens that you
What do you mean pre-written?
I've seen what you did there about brighten up my day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside.
What a horrible week.
I'm just gassed to see you, mate.
Oh, mate, last week, Brighton was so good to me. So good to me,
of
Brighton
course it was.
And then this weekend, Danny Welbeck and his mob come to Old Trafford and absolutely do us all.
They rested about 6 players, didn't they? It was like Brighton reserves at one point.
They were so good.
I know.
That's what we're going to look at. How good are Brighton? That's what we're going to focus on this week. Because Man United were excellent.
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about there. Brighton were just like prime Barcelona.
Crazy.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Rory is with us today, but at the moment he's having a little whinge about Chelsea. So Rory will be joining us very, very soon. Remember, we are sponsored by Super 6 and I just want to say, I love you guys at Super 6. It's fun. It's the only little bit of fun I got going on in my life at the moment. It's the only bit, it's the only league that I could still possibly win.
Yeah.
The Super 6 league,
Yeah,
really.
of course, yeah.
And that's a stretch. Today, as well, one person is looking for Arsenal to beat Everton 4-1. I say one. There's loads of people that would like Arsenal to beat Everton 4-1.
Yeah. But
one in particular, are they going to hit the jackpot if they get... If Arsenal win 4-1, they hit the jackpot. But if Everton win 4-1, we hit the jackpot, my friend.
Yeah, the content jackpot.
Yeah.
We get views on YouTube, baby.
And that's what we live off.
Yeah, 100%. The most popular kind of prediction on Super 6 was Everton 0, Arsenal 2. So a lot of confident Arsenal fans out there. Of course, 3-0 Arsenal, 3-1 Arsenal, 2-1 Arsenal, and 1-0 Arsenal.
I'd imagine as well, yeah. A lot of Everton fans are predicting Arsenal to win. I can't
Everton
imagine there's
fans
much confidence.
They're so flat on confidence, aren't they? They're calling up TalkSport. They're having a moan, having a whine. It's a shambles at Everton. Obviously, the ownership things have changed there as well, and Everton look like they're going to get relegated.
But even that's kind of up in the air. Like, what is it? 777 Holdings or something are buying them, and that seems all really weird at the moment. So God knows what's going to go down with Everton. It's a topic we'll discuss actually because I weirdly like Everton.
I think they have to be in the league. I don't know if it's
because in the Merseyside derbies I always support them.
Yeah.
And Wayne Rooney. Well,
they're a historic club, aren't they? Historic. Some of the best nights in Premier League history have happened at Goodison Park in terms of David Moyes, those big kind of under the lights, the hard games for Man United. You've had some classic games there, of course. But yeah, it's a sad state of affairs.
We won the league.
Bournemouth should be in the Championship, not Everton.
We won the league there a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was David Beckham's last title. We lifted it at Goodison Park. And then there was the game where we beat them 4-2. Phil Neville scored an own goal. Chris Eagles scored. Memories. That's all I have these days.
When was that? 20 years ago? 25 years ago?
Sweet old memories.
I was doing my phonetic alphabet when that happened. I was learning about that, mate. Do you know what I mean?
You can join our league. The code is Club23. Club23 is the code for our Super 6 Mini League. Remember, if you miss out on that jackpot, you could still potentially get something by winning our mini league as well, because we give the club league winner every week £100 classic football shirts voucher.
Yeah, I'm yet to win that, unfortunately. I'm getting close. I've got a lot of results correct, not score lines, but results. Yeah. I even predicted a 4-0 Brighton win, and I was not far off.
Yeah, I mean,
look at that.
It could have and should have been 4-0 to Brighton.
2-1 City, West Ham. I think they deserved to beat you 4-0. Really, it was a nice goal from your lot.
What's bad, yeah? Before the game, I was actually dreading it, but I saw I can't remember what I seen, but I seen someone predict United to lose, and I thought, oh yeah, pull the other one. You predict that every single week, and then it was just like.
But wait, for real, you thought you were going to win?
I hope we would win.
Not based on it's Brighton versus Old Trafford.
Remember,
on a footballing level.
Optimist.
No, on a footballing level, you're looking at it as a footballing man, not a Man United man.
I
a
thought we
footballing man.
Could win.
But Burton Albion against Man United think they're going to win the FA Cup.
Our performance against Arsenal wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad performance. Our home form had been pretty good.
It was worrying at the back.
Our home form had been pretty good, and has been pretty good. It's our away form that's been abysmal. And they had players out. And I was sitting there thinking, we're gonna hopefully do something. We started off well as well. Look, we'll save the United chat for when Rory's here, because obviously we're going to discuss that. But let's get stuck into the team news regarding Everton and Arsenal. The Arsenal team news is pretty big because Vieira is in for Havertz and Raya is in for Ramsdale. What is your reaction to that, Buvey?
Well, it's far better. The back line is far more assured. You've got Ben White back at right back and no kind of, obviously the Partey situation is far different because of the injury. But I think if you have Ray in goal, you go to these are hard away days for Arsenal, the Evertons of the world, the Aston Villas of the world, where they've struggled in the last couple of seasons. Who do you want in goal? If a big corner comes in 88th minute, I think you want Ray to come in and collect the ball. I think Ramsdale's a bit of a flapper when these big shots come in. I feel like he's a little bit under pressure. He was a little bit at fault for a couple of goals this season already. I think you've got to get him out of that lineup and get Raya straight in there. He's got physicality. He's a top keeper, Raya. I think he'd be a top keeper.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Could he be being rested for the midweek game against PSG?
That's what I think it is, but eventually you'll realise how good Raya is compared to Ramsdale. And I think there'll be a kind of chasm between the two keepers.
They've got Champions League coming up midweek. This is a squad that hasn't had to deal with Champions League football, previously. They were in the Europa League last year. They've got Spurs again, which is a difficult game. Now that's looking like it's going to be a difficult game. So you look at the next two fixtures, and you think, are they resting those two players? Could we see Ramsdale have it straight back into the 11 midweek? Or is he reacting to the performances we've seen from Arsenal before something bad happens, which would be proactive thinking?
But he's not, is he? He's an overthinker. And I think the overthinking has cost them moments already at the start of the season. Havertz and, having to kind of get him in the side. I can see Ramsdale playing that Champions League game and then you go back to Raya for the Premier League. But if you're a real manager that just completely on merit, then I think Havertz doesn't start a game for the next couple of months. In reality, maybe the League Cup games, maybe the Champions League games. And same with Raya. I think you start Raya in these big games. I think Raya has to be starting in the North London derby as well if he's fit. But this is a massive moment for him in his career, and it's probably the biggest game of his career. So it's massive for him at the moment. Starting for Arsenal.
Because is that move an obligation to buy it? Or is that default?
I don't know if the
no, there's no obligation.
Is there no obligation?
They could send him back potentially. You know what I mean?
If he doesn't work out. Imagine being Ramsdale with all the kind of he's the passion merchant. He's been shouting at everyone, and he's on the bench. Oh.
It's good to have, though, you need it. It's good to have that competition for places. And I remember when David De Gea was a younger goalkeeper, and he still had that rick in him. And bringing in, we brought in Anders Lindegaard to challenge him, and at the time, Lindegaard was starting, and it kind of brought the best out of David De Gea, and that's what Ramsdale's got to do, isn't it? Because he was starting for England the other day. If he wants to start for England and start for Arsenal every single week, and I don't think there's much difference between him and Pickford. If we're talking on an England perspective.
Yeah, there's a lot more. There's a lot of difference for me.
Whoa,
yeah, there's a lot of difference.
Really?
Pickford's a far better shot stopper.
Arsenal would be a better team with Pickford instead of Ramsdale?
Yeah, miles better. Miles better. I'm not saying if Pickford is Pickford Alisson, of course not. I'm not saying that. Is he better than Ramsdale for Arsenal? Of course he is, Pickford. 1,000,000%.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, Ramsdale or
Here's another one for you
Pickford.
Then. Would Everton have stayed up last 2 seasons with Ramsdale in goal versus Pickford? No way. He's kept them up 2 seasons in a row.
Ramsdale's got a lot of relegations on his...
He's been relegated. I did a TikTok about him. He's been relegated five in the last 7, 8 years. He got relegated with Wimbledon, I think it was. I want to say
we can't hold that against him, though. He was a very young goalkeeper, isn't it?
Do you want someone playing for Man United who's been relegated 5, 6, 7 times in his career? He did a video for Sky Sports the other day. He said, I've been relegated twice from the Premier League. I said, what about the Football League? You've been relegated about 5, 6 times in the Football League. For real.
But
that's not good, is it?
But it's not. Those relegations weren't on him, were they?
You're 1/11th of a relegation. You're the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
and some say it's.
I think we're being very harsh on a young goalkeeper there. But I'm not a huge fan of Ramsdale. I kind of sit where you sit with him. I think it's a little bit overrated, and I think Raya could potentially come in and take his place. But he's a very young goalkeeper, and he has shown potential there. His distribution, which is very important these days, has been pretty good. Sometimes he pulls out some saves and you're like, rah, where did that come from?
That's true, yeah.
But then there's the other time where you think he does go for a camera stop and he ends up looking stupid.
Or even the simple one against Fulham, Pereira, someone that you know well of. Obviously, he beats him within a minute. Southampton, he got beat. I don't remember who scored against him, but it was within 2, 3, 4 minutes at the Emirates. For me, Ramsdale's 11th. He's a Crystal Palace keeper for me. He's a Sam Johnson. He's close to Sam Johnson than he is to Alisson.
We've got a few comments. Alex says Pickford is dross.
Yep.
Steve says Pickford is ass. With loads of A's and S's.
But they're tying him to Everton. It's not
talking
fair.
about ass. Rory's here fresh from his Chelsea reaction.
Didn't even do it.
What? Did you just sit in a dark room for 5 minutes?
I couldn't, honestly, I couldn't even bring myself to review. I went
You
to
need a hug.
review it.
I need a hug, you know. Come and have a hug.
Do you know, I
Go
genuinely...
on, bring it in, man. Football's shit in it, lads.
Mate, I
Football's
couldn't
crap.
even do it.
Fuck you, Buvey.
I just couldn't do it.
I love
sat
football.
down and I thought, okay, let's process exactly what happened there. Right, we've gone away to Bournemouth. We've gone away to Bournemouth. And we, not only haven't we won, but we haven't played particularly well. We haven't asked many questions. We haven't scored any goals. There was no form of identity. There was a weird insulation around Mauricio Pochettino. You know, if you question Pochettino, it's totally unacceptable. And look, I don't think he is the problem at the club. Far from it. I could name 20 things that are wrong with Chelsea Football Club and not name Pochettino. But I think he has to take his fair share of
But you're allowed to
responsibility.
criticise a manager for...
And not want him out.
Yeah, you're allowed to do this. Like yesterday, I was thinking Ten Hag got a lot of things wrong and could have done this differently, that differently. But it doesn't mean I want the geezer out.
No,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? I still think he's the guy to turn the ship around. Like, yeah, Chelsea's performances. What are you putting... Because I looked at your bench today. You had a fella called Stutter on there I've never heard of.
Oh, Ronnie.
Ronnie
You've
Stutter.
never heard of Ronnie Stutter? Don't you even know anything about football?
The only thing I remember, Joe and Mystical. Remember that? Stutter.
Yeah.
That's that big tune.
Mate, I honestly, I just don't know what's going on. People don't want to talk about this, and it isn't the point. When you've just lost, when you've just drawn, that feels like a loss,
It is a loss, isn't it,
at
really?
Bournemouth. The point isn't to start talking about the board and things like that. These players need to take some responsibility. The manager needs to take some responsibility, and we need to give credit to Bournemouth. That's all that needs to happen today. In a bigger conversation around what went wrong at Chelsea, I'll start with the board and I will end with the board. But the fact that Buvey and I were chatting earlier, actually, right? And this was a question that kind of went in my Chelsea WhatsApp group. I said that Bournemouth away is the easiest away game. It's the away game where you're most likely to win the game. And I think Buvey, did you say Bramall Lane?
But I think Bournemouth's more set
atmosphere-
up for you
yeah,
to
the
play
atmosphere.
football, and it's not a huge
Mate,
crowd.
12,000 fans, not a
You get-
particularly good team. I think in terms of where you go, it's not about
It's
stats.
them or Luton.
It's not about stats, but where are you most likely to go and win? I think Bournemouth away is basically the perfect fixture. And on the build-up to this game, up until today everyone was going, I think we'll get a draw. But up until today, we were going, Bournemouth is the perfect fixture that we need. You know, we didn't have a good result against Forest. We're gutted about that. It all went a bit wrong. Okay, right, we can get back on track by going away to Bournemouth and winning 3-0. And then you look at that performance, and it was just nothing, no identity. And by the end of the game, it's them, it's their fans, it's their players, it's their manager who were gutted with a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going on the attack. They were desperate to win the game. They were
But they bought on it, Brooks, didn't they?
Am I right in thinking that Enzo got booked for time wasting for trying to get off the pitch slow to slow the game down?
I think he argued on his he was time.
For real?
You're right, but that is
But he was
booked
slowly
for.
walking. I think
he was
you're right.
booked.
But
He had
it
an
looked
argument.
like that. It's crazy.
He had an argument, but no, I think by the end Chelsea were happy with the point. By the end,
Where did
Chelsea,
you go this season? What are you trying to achieve?
Man, I don't know any.
What is
Well,
it?
there's a lot of players missing at the moment, though. I mean, you look at the
Doesn't
squad.
matter.
There's a lot of
Their
players.
academy should be getting a result against Bournemouth.
They've sold most of it. Most of their players that were prime
yeah.
and ready for first team football,
but
they've sold.
this is now part of the issue, isn't it? This is part of the issue with the Todd Bowley approach. Like, he's trying to redefine. I'm not going to do this because what I'll do in a minute is go on some mad rant about Todd Bowley, and everyone wants to talk about football, like the game of football, rather than like the ownership of Chelsea. But generally, in terms to answer Buvey's question as quickly as possible, where do we go? What do we hope? What are the aspirations? I don't know, like European qualification, and I mean just European qualification.
What's that, 7th? What was it? Top 5, 1-1?
Depends on the coefficients at the end of the season, doesn't it?
But yeah, that's it. I mean, the dream actually for me would be silverware. If we could somehow finish 12th and win a cup, I'd take that.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea's job this year, like between now and Christmas, he needs to kind of settle the squad down, find out his best 11, find out his best formation. I know he's someone that likes to change things up in game. And then once you've settled on that, I think you'll start to see a team forming between January and May. And you'll end the season probably peaking.
Honestly, they're no good, mate.
The
Do you know what I mean?
trouble is
You see some big clubs always sign players, and you can see the quality even if they're raw. I remember when Aguero signed, and you think he's a bit raw to the Premier League, and he scored it, and it's like. There's about 6 or 7 players for Chelsea. Mate, none of them have started
Do you see
well.
that? Do you think
Maybe Enzo?
Would you say that Jackson has that raw quality?
No. Raw to the point where I don't think he's going to get polished to 25 Premier League goals a season. Nowhere near. He works hard for the team.
Yeah,
but he was
still need
building
odds on the
something
next
with Nkunku, wasn't he, in pre-season? And then he gets injured. Poch's plans have to change. He has to change things up. You got a lot of players joining late. I don't know. I think it's obviously you want to beat Bournemouth away.
Like I don't think there's any.
You've only beaten Luton this season, which looks bad, but
yeah,
I think Poch needs to be given time, and I'm not. I know you're not saying the opposite of that.
I think he will be given time as well. I just don't know. The trouble is, I just don't know how good these players are. Like, you know, when you think about this recruitment, and again, I'm talking about the board here, but this recruitment drive. All right, Mudryk has never really looked like a player. This Gusto has come in. You know, when you think, okay, like let's provide him with like good players. Let's provide.
So let's say everyone was fit. What would Chelsea's first 11-ish look like if you split on some players?
I think it would probably be. I think it needs to be 4 at the back, and it would be 4 at the back, but things changed a bit with injuries. Yeah. But I think our best team would probably be Chilwell and James, but it will obviously be Chilwell and Gusto. With Sanchez in goal, Chilwell and Gusto, with Colwill and Silva. That would be my best team.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, that Dizassi's played a lot of football. And
you got Badiashile,
but I think Colwill's better than Badiashile. So that would be my back line. I'd then go, as a midfield, it would probably be Caicedo, Fernandes, Gallagher. Like Gallagher captain the team.
Sounds about right. Well, Enzo and Caicedo's a shoe-in, right? Then you've got like the other third
and then it's
would be
maybe
Lavia, Conor Gallagher, etc., etc.
And then I think it would be Sterling probably on the right, Mudryk.
But you have to play Nkunku somewhere.
Mudryk
on the 4-2-3-1 because of Nkunku.
Yeah, if he's
his issue.
If he's fit, you play a different system though.
Yeah,
but he's out until the new year.
Fine. Yeah.
He's out until the new year, so it's almost like we have to. Life without him involves. I think it has to be McKola Mudryk. But you know that hasn't even been deployed correctly, and I don't really like Mudryk. I don't think he's particularly good, and I don't even necessarily think he will be. But like, he has to be a better winger than Ben Chilwell. Like, not a better overall player, but a better winger. And the fact that he's not being used there, but I just don't know now. It's so demoralising. Battered at home by Forest and then drawing away at Bournemouth, you suddenly go like, I don't know. It's actually mental to sit here and go, when you said, what's the thing? And I went, Europe. Or just, what a cheek I got. Europe and silverware are the two things I said. What are you talking about? You just lost to Forest and drew away to Bournemouth. Yeah. You want to worry about survival.
Yeah. Top 10, innit? It's top 10 vibes.
Yeah. Shambles.
Dear.
Let's talk about Man United anyway.
We'll talk about Man United in a bit. Arsenal game's going to kick off in like 10 minutes. The team news, I'm not sure if you've heard while you were kind of sitting in a dark room thinking about Chelsea.
Yeah.
Ramsdale's out, Raya's in.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz is out, Fabio Vieira's in. Vieira looked good against Fulham, got a couple of assists.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's the correct changes, and it's brave from Arteta, and I think Arteta has made the right call. Do you know where the problem will start? Let's just pretend that Arsenal win this game 5-0. All that does is amplify the thought that Havertz was the problem.
Yeah, but that what we've been saying on this string for weeks now is an issue because Arsenal have been playing poor. Havertz is in the side. Now he's not. I think it's perfect for Arteta.
Yeah, no, I do as well. But what I'm saying is...
It's an excuse.
What I'm saying is, if Arsenal win well and win convincingly, which I think they possibly could, if that happens, the Kai Havertz detractors, all it does is make the purchase of Kai Havertz look even worse.
Yeah.
And it means he can't really get back in the team.
Yeah.
You can't get back in the team. You can't be in the team and be kind of at the epicenter of everything wrong with the team. You're removed from the team. The team win 5-0. It's a problem.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's a problem. But Ramsdale's an interesting one. Unless they're protecting Ramsdale, they got a European. Could be Havertz as well. Come to think of it, they got a European fixture, haven't they? Yeah. If they see Havertz as being like, I don't believe what I'm saying here, but if they see him as being like the European,
a bit of experience,
flavor, yeah. Then maybe.
I think it's the wrong way to go, but have they got the squad to compete in the Champions League at the highest level and the Premier League? I don't think they do.
Do you know what I think they do? Just because they're a Premier League team. Just by
Just the
being
money and-
just by being a Premier League team,
Yeah.
you are immediately in contention for being one of the best clubs in Europe. Because and I don't like the conditions that have led us to that situation. It's money. But when you see the fact that Bournemouth has spent more money than Bayern Munich, or Forest has spent more money than Real Madrid,
surreal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely surreal. And Arsenal have to do well in Europe. I mean, their squad is incredible. You think of Odegaards of the world, you think of Saka's. These are top level Champions League level players at the moment, and they need to test themselves and prove themselves.
Yeah,
Declan Rice, what a moment for him to play in the Champions League. That's coming up.
Yeah, but do you know what? It's a massive week for Arsenal because it goes Goodison Park, where they've got a terrible record.
Don't think they've won in 8 years.
Oh, maybe even off the top of your head, when you think about. So I don't mean Rooney doing Seaman. I mean like more recent. There was that. Aubameyang's last game up there. Remember that? Then there was the game. Was that?
Dyche's
Do you remember the
first game
Damari
last
Gray? Was it Damari Gray in the last minute? Arsenal were 1-0 up, and Damari was it?
Oh yeah.
Like I think Arsenal's record at Goodison is pitiful, really bad. Obviously, Dyche last year. So the Arsenal's week goes Goodison Park, where they have a poxy record. Then the Champions League, where they haven't played for a long time. So that's great. And then it's Tottenham.
Imagine they lose all three.
Goodison, Champions League, Tottenham. It's not far off one of the biggest weeks they're going to have this season.
That's true. Yeah, it defines the rest of their season, really.
Yeah, it's a season.
If they turn around to Spurs this time next week and say we beat you 2-0, wow, that's a massive moment for the Premier League.
Where's that game?
I'm not sure where
the game is at Arsenal next week.
Yeah, Arsenal favourite.
They got a great record there against Spurs, haven't they?
Yeah,
Spurs could go there being European champions and lose, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Although the way that Tottenham are playing at the moment. This is if you're a Tottenham fan going to Arsenal, I imagine that you generally go there with fear. Probably this is the least amount of fear that you will have going into a North London derby. So no, it's huge. But then depending on what happens today, if Everton get a result today, and then say PSV were to nick something in the week,
We're doing getting a result. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say we're doing the Champions League stream, aren't we?
We're doing Man United, aren't we?
Oh.
Munich.
We're doing Man United.
In Munich.
I'm in danger.
Well, you'll be in a safe studio in London, so you'll be fine.
Well, I'm not in a safe studio in London because you two bellends will be.
Do you know the only good thing? The only good thing about it being this game in your group, I think you're going to go through anyway. But if you're allowed to lose a game in the group, it's this one.
And get it out of the way first.
Yeah. If it was at home, then the pressure would really be on you because you're not allowed to lose that.
Yeah.
But you're allowed
Their
to go
away
to
form
You're
in
allowed
Munich.
Listen,
Harry Kane.
Listen, we're going to go there and
Harry
smash
Kane
them.
scores.
They're
Harry
not gonna
Kane.
know
Harry
what
Kane
hit.
definitely scores.
A consolation
hat-trick.
goal in a 3-1 defeat.
Harry Kane scores more than one.
They
would get
weren't
on the
great
ball.
against Leverkusen the other day.
No,
But we weren't great against Brighton. So
I know. Yeah,
they drew that
Don't
game
bring that
against
up. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh
look
my
at this.
God.
We're Chelsea.
We're near
14th.
Bournemouth. We're clear of Bournemouth.
You got a better goal difference than
I
Bournemouth.
tell you what, we're lucky that no one's got any points in the relegation zone
I know.
because we're 6 points clear.
Hey, it's dreadful, isn't
You
it?
guys are both lucky Luton are in the league because without it, you know what I mean? It's,
No, but I just don't know what's going to happen here. Because what I do think, and Chelsea and Manchester United, I think it's interchangeable here. I could be speaking about either club. I think the situation is going to come to a head, and it will not be pretty. I think there's going to be a real problem, and almost a combustible situation.
The difficulty for both managers is the board,
Yeah,
and that also gives them a cushion.
yeah, exactly.
Because
You
the
can use
guns
it to
aren't
get
going to be
of
out
jail.
for them.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of disruption at both clubs, isn't it, at the moment?
there is.
Like, even if you look at United, forget you look at the board and then you look at the Greenwood issue, the Anthony issue, the Sancho issue, issues just piling up left,
That
right,
Sancho
centre.
issue was mad.
Mate, if he just shut his mouth for one day,
Do you know
his
what?
first choice right winger.
Do you know what I couldn't believe? Yeah. Do you know what I couldn't believe with Sancho? Not only did he do it, not only did he say it, but he pinned his statement to the top of his...
And then he deleted it and didn't
Profile.
apologise. If you're going to delete it, just apologise.
yeah, you got to apologise.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think this is a thing in life, isn't it? Whatever's going on, the answer is never social media.
Mm.
You know when Jadon Sancho decided to go to social media for his purposes, whoever's advising him, if anyone, or his own decision, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Just don't go social
Also,
media.
what
you can't
Ten
win.
Hag said wasn't
that bad
particularly-
anyway.
It was just, it was based on performances.
And
in
It was a little
Premier
bit cheap, wasn't it? I mean, because he didn't
No,
really
it wasn't.
feature. Did he feature in
also
the
got-
Arsenal game? Was he
you've-
culpable?
No, he didn't.
for
That was a point.
No, but
Was
he got
he
asked where was
massively-
Jadon Sancho. He said he's based on
Yeah,
performances in training. He wasn't in the squad.
was
And
a
you've got to
little
bear
bit
in
cheap.
mind, there's a backdrop here of Eric Ten Hag
Giving him
being
a
very,
massive
very
favour.
nice to him last season, giving him 3 months off, giving him time, giving him
He
space.
sent him to Holland. He sent him to his
and
people
them
in
two,
Holland.
like, if you look at his profile picture, Sancho's, there's a picture of him and the manager really happy together. And it's like, that was like a moment where everyone thought, oh, Sancho and Ten Hag have got a nice relationship going on. And then this just came out of the blue, really.
It really doesn't make any sense. And I don't think Sancho handled it well. And do you know the other thing when people go, well, if the manager's allowed to speak, then the player's allowed to speak. Hang on, no, it's different rules.
It's a hierarchy.
It's a hierarchy. It's not, that isn't it. The manager is allowed to say, and you're not allowed to say. And do you know what? You suck that up.
Yeah.
It'd be like going, well, I told my kid what to do. She doesn't get to tell me what to do. Why not? It doesn't sound fair. It ain't fair. That's it. No, that's the way
life,
things
yeah.
work.
That's life,
It's
yeah.
also, it's not like there's not been a track record.
He did
Whether
it
you've
at City.
been-
Yeah, he did it at City.
No, I mean, I don't mean with Sancho, I mean with the manager.
Oh, with the manager.
Well, yeah, he
whether
holds
you're
everybody to a high
Alejandro
standard.
Garnacho,
Yeah, yeah.
Marcus Rashford, Ronaldo, whoever. And some United, like, I wish we sold Harry Maguire to replace him or whatever in the summer. But some people go, oh, why is Maguire still in the squad? But Sancho, because Maguire's not turning up to training and not doing those things. You know what I mean? You can't just punish him for wanting to stay at a club, which,
Yeah.
you know, as much as we maybe didn't want that to happen, that's, you know,
No, I agree.
silly.
It's it's
But the
a
manager
mess.
has to grab this. Like, we've seen it at various different clubs, and you can't let the player power ultimately, you know, we've seen it with Aubameyang at Arsenal. You need to take control of that dressing room, and I think the manager needs to be allowed to do that. I'm fully behind him.
It looks worse for
I
him
love Jadon
because your
Sancho as
results
well.
are
I
so
think he's an
poor.
incredible player.
If you're maximum points top of the table, Man United, I think you can.
You know what I
you have a bit
like,
more
Jim?
credibility, but you're losing results as well. So he looks like a stern guy, and then it's like, where's the proof in the pudding? One League Cup against Newcastle. Do you know what I mean?
Also,
in
that's
one
the
year,
issue
though.
that people have.
It's
I
one
don't
League
have
Cup in
that.
one
but
year though.
it's one season.
one
It's one
league-
no,
season.
I think
one
what we're
year.
saying around the table is bang on. But I'm just there'll be people out there criticising Ten Hag
And there's
for
always
his
going to be
comments.
times where it doesn't go smoothly. It's how you navigate that and get through that scenario. isn't it?
Yeah.
And what I like about it is you shouldn't base a manager's like the manager took off Rasmus Højlund in the game, and the decision got booed by Man United fans, and it was obvious Højlund was going to come off because he's not fully fit. You have to take him off. And I like that the manager went, all right, really and truly, I need my strikers all on this pitch right now. But there's a bigger picture at hand here. And if I lose Rasmus Højlund because I leave him on for 30 minutes, which a lot of managers would do to try and save their skin, I like that he had the confidence to go, no, like 60 minutes.
Is that
was the
booing
plan, that's
common?
what we're
Is that
sticking.
common? That kind of booing in
Not
that
United.
situation,
Not United.
like for a tactical kind of change.
Not
And
United.
does that represent
And
Man
listen-
United fans turning a
And
little
again,
bit on him?
I don't think he got cheered on his way out of the ground.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't think the fans will, you know, you can disagree with a decision and still support
I was
someone.
surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised to hear booing at the full-time whistle because you're not booers. You're not sort of
Yeah.
known as being booers, Man United.
I think that was more aimed at the players.
Yeah.
I genuinely think
And rightly so, by the way.
inside the stadium, obviously, social media is torn and split, and everyone can have their opinion, whatever. And I think if you talk about a lot of people that were in the stadium that were cheering the manager on his way out or booing the players or whatever, like they would probably think, all right, you got that wrong. We're still behind the manager. Like, and this is the guy to turn it around. We have to. If we can't give this guy time, I'm done. But just forget it, man.
I
Just
just do you
knock it all
know
on.
what else we have to sort of acknowledge in all of this, and obviously Manchester United is the conversation, but my God, Brighton are brilliant.
They had six players out.
There's big players as well.
No Evan Ferguson.
Estepinian and like proper players for them. Doesn't matter, does it? They just
They played.
the Zerbis, the
United
boy.
started really well. We played like a diamond. And for the first 20 minutes, we created a few chances. We looked really good. And then that Dahoud and, is it Gross?
Yeah, Pascal
I don't know whether
Gross.
it
He
was
scored, didn't it? He scored that
Yeah.
lovely little
I
shimmy.
don't know whether it
finish.
was a tactical tweak by the manager or those two players just actually went, hold on, we just need to get a grip of this midfield here. But they just took control of it.
No, it was. I think it was. I
was
think it was De Zerbi, mate.
Yeah, he
I think
just
because you
took
played a
control of the
diamond,
game.
didn't you? You
Yeah,
played
yeah,
a
it started.
diamond, and then they realised like get wide and
that's
get
why I can't.
change.
Like, if I look at that team, Ericsson and McTominay should not be starting, bro. Like, and that's why we brought Kobe Mainoo into the first team. We've brought Amrabat and that Mason Mount, for example. Like, if you have Mason Mount and Amrabat in that team in place of Ericsson, and it's
like,
a
in
very
terms of
different
tackles
game,
and
and it's a
pressing,
very
yeah.
different way that we play. And just it was just horrible. Yes,
No,
the game's underway anyway.
but-
36 seconds in.
But they were sensational, bright. Like they really,
Yeah,
they really-
unreal.
I just can't believe how good they are. Do you know what I thought really summed it up as well? Did you see that moment? Were you in the ground for the whole thing? You're not a lever.
Yeah, I never
You
left.
know, didn't
I,
vote-
I,
didn't vote- you didn't vote.
I
leave.
wait till all the fans leave until I leave.
Oh, you
I'm one of them.
you stay. Yeah. No, I'm out. I'm gone.
No, 'cause I
Um,
don't like to walk in the traffic.
Oh right. Oh, it's more to do with that.
Yeah, I don't want to walk in
Yeah.
a crowd of people. So it feels like you kind of,
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
like this and you keep stopping
Yeah,
and
yeah,
starting. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, just wait.
But
till
you know,
everyone
there was a
clears up.
moment towards the end. I think they were 3-1 up already, and it was that Fatty goes through on goal. Lovely move, puts him through, and it was a good save in the end from Onana. Fatty should have scored, but it was a good save.
It sounds like you're criticising someone.
Fatty.
Yeah.
No,
Fatty should have scored.
Fatty should have scored. Yeah. No, Fatty should have scored, but it's a great save from Onana. Mate, the camera panned to De Zerbi. You're 3-1 up at Old Trafford, practically the last kick of the game, and he's like heartbroken and fuming. You know, and you think, my
Yeah,
God, the
'cause
standards are
4-1
that
at Old
high.
Trafford.
It sounds different, doesn't it?
rings
Yeah,
different,
it sounds different.
doesn't it?
Yeah. 4-1 does sound different.
What was it last year? 2-1.
2-0.
They've beat us
2-1.
four times on a spin.
Yeah.
And
They're
even
the
in
only club that have done that since,
even in the cup,
since Liverpool in 1980.
even in the cup,
Crazy.
we drew with them
Yeah. Actually, no, City
and
did
beat
it.
them on pens.
City did it more recently. But up until basically Brighton have done it, City have done it, and Liverpool have
And
done it.
in that
ever,
time,
ever.
Ten Hag's had more time than De Zerbi, way more money. You know, the Brighton's
No, but you-
11s cost a
you've also
third of
got to
Jadon
look-
Sancho's fee.
You could look
It's
at
crazy.
you could look at the clubs in terms of United and Chelsea at this as well. One of the things Brighton benefit from is the structure above the manager.
Yeah.
And there's so much proof in that pudding, like in terms of they chop and change managers, they still perform and they still succeed. And that's because from the top down, they've got everything right, whether it's recruitment of managers, recruitment of
They're
coaches,
amazing.
recruitment of players.
It's
Like,
clean.
it shows you how important it is.
Yeah, but the
At Manchester
operation's
United,
clean. The
at Manchester
operation doesn't
United, you've
allude
got
to why they
Eric
beat
Ten
you so
Hag
comfortably.
responsible for everything, it seems, at the moment. That shouldn't be the case. Like, he shouldn't be responsible for identifying the players that he wants.
Yeah.
But, trying to sign up. Like, he shouldn't be responsible for that. It should be your board and the people at the top that decide how they want their club to be run.
Brighton
and then they
have to
sign
be up
players
there.
in that
Brighton,
image.
Brighton have to be up there with the best run club in the world. Like
Pound for pound, just-
17
yeah.
million
Easy,
pounds.
easy.
That starting lineup. Think about the quality in
Tony
that starting
Bloom, mate.
lineup as well. Pascal Gross,
Look at him
Mito,
today.
like such good players. How good's Dunk as well? Good
Yeah.
for England. Like,
You'll be starting for England.
mate, they've got such good players. 17 million
But
quid it cost.
that's my point that I'm trying to make. It's like Ten Hag at Ajax. He benefited from a
but that-
incredible
that-
structure.
but we're
If
talking
you
about
put
the game.
De
We're
Zerbi
talking
at
about
Old
the game.
Trafford now, or you De Zerbi
It's
at
a
Chelsea,
shambles,
it's going to be
yeah.
a shambles, bro. There's a lot of issues at those
But
clubs.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's
well,
true.
Potter
The
suggests
way they
it's true,
play
though,
football
innit?
is
But-
amazing.
no, but Graham Potter, we
Great flick by
got De
Nketiah.
Zerbi, didn't we? We
Yeah.
got the De Zerbi at a moment from Brighton.
But they still have Danny Welbeck up front. I mean, you'd rather have a £70 million Hoyland. You'd rather have Martinez.
Just to
You'd
ask
rather
a
have
question,
Onana.
Would you? Is Danny Welbeck
you-
better than Nicholas Jackson?
I get the
You know
point
what I'm trying
Buvey's
to say.
making.
On
and
a
the point
footballing
he's making
level.
is correct.
I'm genuinely interested. Like, I think most people agree with you.
Yeah.
But
If we're doing a
but I
combined
actually-
11, I think
I
6 or
actually
7
wonder-
start from Man
I actually
United.
wonder,
So it's all
is
the coach.
Danny
That's true.
Welbeck and players like Danny Welbeck, slightly unglamorous. Lewis Dunk is another example.
Yeah.
Jason Steele is another example.
Yeah.
In terms of their output and what they actually deliver, okay, on social media, they'll be hammered. It's not a glamorous look. But in terms of their actual effectiveness on a football pitch, I think like Danny Welbeck.
I think the point
brilliant.
Buvey is making
Yeah,
is
but
right, though.
but-
In
Hoyland or
like,
Hoyland's a
United-
bad example. Onana's a
The
good
point-
one.
no, no, no.
Onana's a
The
Champions
point
League
Buvey's
finalist
making
keeper.
is right in the sense that Manchester United had enough to beat Brighton on the day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
therefore
should
it
be
comes
beating
down
them.
to the coach. The coach should have it better. But also, every game comes with context around that game. What has been happening in the lead up to it? What has been going on around the club, etc., etc. All those things have an influence on what is going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
of
get,
course
you
it
get
does,
the point. Like Manchester United shouldn't have lost against
No.
Brighton.
No, you should be beating.
I thought the manager got it wrong in terms of McTominay and Ericsson. We should have clocked that was an issue much earlier in the game, 35 minutes in. United scored got disallowed, disappointing, but we still shouldn't have. We should have changed something up there. Like the manager got that wrong. Those things can be true, but what I'm saying is De Zerbi is benefiting from a ship that is very steady.
Yeah, 100%,
Manchester United
100%.
and Chelsea have issues that go far and above beyond the manager. That's not to excuse the managers for the
yeah,
results
of course,
this
of
weekend.
course, of course.
Yeah, I think at some point you just have to go, like, Pochettino is responsible for today's performance and the players, but Pochettino is responsible. But then you can, that's the feeling in the immediate aftermath of the game. But on Monday when you actually reflect on it,
You had no one to pick that could
exactly,
offer quality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jackson was the only striker kind of available.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah. So realistically, of course, Chelsea should have won. But if Chelsea should have won, that implies that we should have scored. Who's likely to score for Chelsea? McKola Mudryk, who he's been provided with? Probably not.
No.
Nicholas Jackson, from what we've seen so far, probably not. Kind of out of ideas already.
I mean, we saw an example against West Ham where Doku's come in, half the price of Mudryk. That's what Mudryk was kind of advertised as.
Yeah.
Pace, cuts it in on his right. He's a little bit clunky.
Kind of, again, I agree with you, but if you swap Mudryk and Doku, I promise you Mudryk looks like a much better player.
Of course he does.
You know what I mean? Because he's going into a ship that's so steady. Everything's running like clockwork.
Yeah. That's true.
If Doku, what's it mean for Jack Grealish, this?
I'm surprised, and City fans are surprised.
He said he looks like a real winger.
Yeah.
Which suggests what else you have.
It was a little
doesn't
comment on
look like a
Grealish,
real
I
winger.
thought, and City fans were
Who said he looks like a real
because-
winger? Guardiola?
Pep about Doku.
like a real wing, like, you know, the emphasis on the real. And it's like, it's interesting because he was brought in, I think a lot of City fans thought it'd be right wing, cut on his right to kind of whip it around to Haaland, Grealish on the back post. But the way he was cutting in, I mean, he had Kufau, he sent him to the shops, and he was absolutely crazy. So Doku is potentially a left winger, and then Grealish might have to fight for his place. But this is the kind of ruthless nature of Man City's squad, where someone like Grealish,
who was like integral
last season
to
we were doing streams, it was like Grealish has to be starting. He's number one, even before Edison for me. He's that good. So it will make Grealish get better.
He's not out of favour though. In terms of going into your next game, who starts? Grealish.
Grealish will get in the squad. But if it's the Champions League final tomorrow, Grealish starts. But Doku, the fact he can come in and kind of stake
Do you really
his claim,
think that though? Because I know it sounds right when you say it out loud, and it does. But if the manager's already looking at him and going, "That's the type of winger I want," in the biggest of games, is he not going to play with that, or would he look after possession a bit more?
It was against West Ham. Kufau's limited as a right back. He's a good solid servant. I think Doku is a great game for him. There's a lot of pace in behind it at the Olympic Stadium on the big pitch. But in a big game where you want to control it, he won't be giving Doku big opportunities yet, I don't think. But I might be wrong.
We'll see.
Arsenal looking good so far. They got a corner here with Saka.
They just do you know there isn't a more obvious answer for this question, right? The first goal means everything in this game. Everton go 1-0 up. Arsenal struggling. Everton go 1-0 down.
It's 5-0.
It finishes 5-0. Yeah. This game goes totally around the first goal.
Here we go.
Wait.
So weird, like you know.
You pillock.
Do you know how we can't hear the game? Like it's so weird watching a game like that, isn't it?
Silent, yeah.
Like you need some noise.
But then you hear some of the commentators on Sky. You think I'd rather just not listen.
I'm not on about a commentator. You know, just that.
The atmosphere,
of noise.
Remember they did that in COVID. The fake. You could download the stream.
Can we buy some of that for our head?
Yeah, we should do that.
Put some crowd noise in.
Fake audience screaming.
You could choose whether you watched it with like the genuine atmosphere. The one thing I liked about that is I found it very interesting to listen to the players talking to one another.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the UFC because of that as well. Like, you know, when there was no crowd, you could just hear the digs landing. It's proper fucked up. And them talking to each other, which I thought was amazing. Here we go. Martinelli. Over Vieira. His trims looked a little bit Martinelli.
Beard's not a fan of that beard for me.
Who's that?
Vieira.
Yeah. Why not?
That's it's a little bit drawn. I can grow a beard.
Can you?
Yeah. I could
do it.
Yeah.
November's coming up.
No, I can't. I just can't. It goes a little bit gingery and all that. I don't want to do it.
Oh God! So you can't grow a beard?
Can you grow a beard, Wars?
Yeah. I had
you used to have one, didn't you, back in the day?
I hate it. I'm only not clean shaven because I forgot my razor.
What do you mean?
I went to the gym.
How can you forget your razor if you live in London?
I went to the gym and I didn't have my razor in my gym bag.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I
might grow my beard out if we get to 100,000 people in the Super Six. If you haven't already joined,
100,000.
Yeah,
Jesus, start your sights.
That's possible.
Well, we've got 10,000.
Yeah, that's how much I don't want to grow the beard. It's Club 23 on the Super Six.
I don't think 90,000 people want to see you grow your beard.
I don't think 90,000 people know.
It's insurance, lads. It's insurance, lads. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Whoa, what are you on about?
90,000.
We've got 159,000 subs, which reminds me, subscribe so we can hit 160k.
Oh yeah, can we get 160k today? Is that
Surely,
possible?
if we can't do that, then
I wonder how many people that watch are already subscribed. I wonder what the conversion is.
It's very small, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's a few people
There should
watching
be-
currently not subscribed.
And we
Please
never
do
say this.
subscribe.
And like the stream.
Hang on, I'll tell you.
We never tell anyone to do that.
Tell you if
That's
that
really our
works.
job, isn't it? To basically tell people to
So
like
we
streams.
currently have 362 likes on the stream. How
Yeah.
many do you think you personally can get it to?
I want a
No, no,
I
wait,
want a
wait,
thousand.
we're
I
mixing
want
up
a
messages.
thousand.
1,000.
By the end of the game.
We're mixing up
get to
messages here.
1,000.
We need
It's
about
impossible.
40 subs to hit 160.
40 people must
Subscribe.
be watching.
We're not going to talk till we hit 160. Oh shit! Arsenal have scored. I'm joking. I'm joking. Did it happen?
Jack's having a meltdown there.
Did
with
it happen?
Did it happen?
Yeah, Jack's like,
Have
shit.
we made
the
it, Jack?
drop off in views.
7 people.
We
Okay,
need
I'm
7.
literally not speaking.
Stare him out till they subscribe.
Yeah, don't blink.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right now, we need 40,000. No, that's the aim. I want to hit 200k by the end of this year, calendar year.
That's too optimistic.
Because then that would be 200k in a year, which would be incredible.
That's too optimistic.
All right, by middle of January, which would be exactly
Just
a year.
by the end of the season.
No, that's
we can do it.
conservative, isn't
We
it?
can do it. We can do
Have
it.
you forgotten to dream?
Mate, he's just watched
you
his
know.
team draw 0-0.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. That's
you
the problem.
No one's dreaming coming out of
It's
that
only
way.
nightmares. Only nightmares.
Bournemouth.
Is Jordan Pickford still England's number 1?
Yeah.
Who else
We had this
is,
debate
if
before
he
you
is?
came. I just don't. I think it's the. Honestly, I know we've all got a right to an opinion, and everyone watching at home does as well. I think it's the most irrational thing about the England setup I've ever heard in my life. I know my shout about Maguire, it gets hate. That's fair enough, right? Fair enough. Pickford,
What's your
a
shout about
million.
Maguire?
Well, I think he should be in the squad for England going into Euro 2024, and that's a debate. I get that. Pickford is 1,000,000%, by the way, starting for England, and he 1,000,000% deserves it. It's as simple as that. Why is Ramsdale starting an international tournament for England? Why?
What about other options then? What about
Who?
Pope?
Pope. Oh,
No, I don't like Pope at all,
no,
but
not for me.
Ramsdale?
No, he said Ramsdale's not good enough.
No.
You know, he's not even starting for
What if
Arsenal.
Ramsdale does really well for Arsenal in the Champions League?
Fucking hell, Sam Johnson.
No.
He won't.
Ben Foster?
is goalkeeper. So goalkeeper, there are only three problems for England, aren't there? Goalkeeper, centre halves.
That's not a
Is
problem.
it?
It's
England,
not
I don't think England don't have a problem.
It's a
surely.
slight
It's
problem.
not a problem.
Goalkeeper, centre halves, manager.
Do we have Alisson?
The manager's
No, we don't
number
have
one
Alisson. So
problem.
on that level, it is a problem because we don't have Alisson.
Well, we
or
don't
Manuel
have a.
Neuer.
I don't think you don't think Jordan Pickford's world class, do you?
No.
So we don't have a world class goalkeeper.
No.
So
But a lot of countries have gaps in their squad. Not Germany.
no,
don't
that's
have
what I'm saying.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
just flagging ours, mate.
Right,
Calm down a
fair.
bit.
Yeah, but I'm flagging the. Okay, go and get Alisson a British passport then.
No.
I'm actually being
What's up with
realistic
you?
as well.
You're right.
No, I'm a defender of Pickford.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm a defender.
All I said
but
was-
you're saying that he's not good enough. I'm saying
No,
he's
wait. What?
good enough.
Hang on. I think he is good enough.
Yeah.
Calm. Listen, mate. I don't know what's happened here. Something's gone mad.
I love Pickford.
I'm on your your
Is
side.
that how
with
much you
Pickford.
love him?
Yeah.
That
I back him.
You just like
erect-
imaginary fights, imaginary
Listen,
defenses.
he's mug-
Yeah, you're just sticking up for him when he's always being slandered. Yeah, but
Yeah, but
I'm
he is.
supporting him. You're slandering him. No, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I think Pickford's England's number 1, non-negotiably. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that I think when you think about where England's flaws lie,
Oh yeah.
I think it's goalkeeper, centre half, manager. That's it. I don't think there's a weak link apart from the 3 positions I just said.
Maybe a world-class winger as well, that kind of Mbappe, Vinicius vibe. That'd be
I don't know,
that's a
man.
small one.
Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish are all English.
Yeah,
Rashford.
not Rashford.
What are you on about? Not Rashford.
He
He
ain't
scored more
starting for
goals than
England.
any of those.
He ain't start. He was awful yesterday, by the way.
With 30 goals last year.
30 goals, nice. That is quality.
Well, I mean, it is, isn't
He
it?
ain't starting for England.
I mean, Southgate's a punk anyway. He's the biggest problem at
The
England.
Southgate's the problem. I agree.
We've been saying it for about 3 years.
Yeah. I've.
I was a bit more loyal than you two, but what can I say?
not
I don't
loyal.
have any loyalty to.
Yeah, but now
to
you're
them
not.
because I don't
I'm a
care.
DB.
Yeah, but now you're not.
Yeah,
I
but-
was a bit more loyal than you, but now I'm not.
I'm Southgate out now officially. I've got a website, southgateout.com. Go and check it out.
Yeah. What about all that Harry Maguire stuff during the week? As well?
Oh, mate, it's got so blown out of proportion.
Mate,
It's
his
fucking
mother.
ridiculous.
His mother
That
got
was
involved.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
That
the
was
mother got
embarrassing.
stuck
You had a
in.
letter from his mum. You had every Tom.
Where
Dick
did
and
that
Harry.
go?
You had
Like,
every
where
Tom,
did
Dick
it
and
go?
Harry
Instagram
being
account.
asked about it.
So she posted a handwritten note on her Instagram.
No, it was a
What was
it was
it?
a statement that
Stupid.
someone
What, that-
obviously helped her formulate.
My son's getting slagged off.
Be nice.
But the thing was, it was Scottish fans booing him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and England fans back.
What do you want Scottish fans to
no,
not do?
Shouldn't Scottish fans be applauding him for being shit? Apparently, do you know what I mean?
Scoring
What's
their
the
only goal.
rationale?
They had no
what's-
shots on target.
Mate, they're shit, by the way. And the Scottish, that's how bad international football is. They're top of their group. They're top of their group.
Mate,
That's how bad your man Norway's Ireland.
Mate, do you know they relegated England from the Nations League?
Yeah,
They swapped with us, didn't
It's
they?
crazy. Well, that's not a real league, the Nations League. It's
Well,
not-
England
it's
got relegated
What-
out of it because of Southgate.
it's not a real league. So
England
I
got
don't count.
relegated with Southgate.
When's when was
Imagine
the
that.
last Nations League game? It doesn't even exist anymore, does it? Is it still going on?
The women's is going on at the moment.
How do we do? We did well against Spain, didn't we? We got to the final against Spain, then lost.
That wasn't the Nations League, mate.
Oh, I was talking about the World Cup.
Don't you even follow it?
What do you mean the Nations
Don't
League?
you even follow it, mate?
What do you
It's
mean?
the Nations League
Yeah.
starting.
How do we do?
We're doing okay. We play next Friday.
Did Jill Scott play?
She's retired. Don't you even know that?
Yeah, she's a Man City legend. Of course I knew
Mate,
that.
she was in the Queen of the Jungle.
Yeah.
And
Was she? Yeah.
the Nations
Yeah,
League.
she won it with who else was on there? Culture Club kid was on there.
Boy George.
Boy George was on there.
How can you call him a
Coach-
kid?
Yeah, so in Bristol we say kid. Yeah. But he didn't he chain someone to a radiator, didn't he?
He's a rent boy.
Never heard that.
What?
He chained someone to a radiator, left them there for 3 days.
And he was allowed to go on I'm a Celebrity.
This is years ago, mate. People love and forget, don't they?
Mm.
That's mental.
Yeah, people forget about these things, you know.
But would you still listen to his music?
No, I can't think of a song that.
Karma Chameleon.
That's a
Do
kind
you
of.
really want to hurt me?
That's a classic, yeah. That's a kind of pub jukebox vibe in it when you've had 10 drinks or 10 pints, you stick that on. Maybe.
Would that be your karaoke
No,
song?
but you've heard those kind of songs in pubs, like Human League, you know, that kind of stuff.
You were working as a
Yeah, that
waitress
song's
in
great,
a
innit?
cocktail bar.
I love that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not Boy George, is it?
When I, no,
Yeah.
that's,
Same era, innit?
No, that's who you just said.
Human League.
Human League. Which is why I sang.
You never heard of Human League?
I know that song.
Yeah, by Human
But if you
League.
told me that, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have known
No.
that. No, I wouldn't have
Very famous.
been able to narrow that down.
My friend ended up going out with a girl who used to work in Superdrug, and we used to sing, "She was working in a Superdrug in Edgware Road when you met her."
I bet no one watching this knows that song. Do you know what I mean? I bet no one knows.
Surely
Let us
everyone-
know in the comments.
Find
Let
out.
us know in the comments. It's a
Loads of
classic.
people
It's a
know that.
classic.
Don't you want me?
Now they'll know it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, after that rendition.
Yeah.
Superdrug Edgware Road. That's a classic. That's a legendary Superdrug, that one. Yeah, great vibes in there. 80 minutes into Everton Arsenal.
People
It's
know it.
0-0.
Connor Skelly himself knows it.
Yeah.
It's a banger. I know that song.
That's great.
Don't you love me, baby? No, Jesus Borgona doesn't know it. He got the words wrong. But no, people seem to know it.
Who's that?
The left back.
McKola, what's her name? Not
Mikalenko.
Mikalenko, that's it.
This
I was about to
this
call him.
side should not be getting relegated. Everton. Their starting 11's decent.
Do you think they will? Do you
Decent.
think they
It's not
will go?
Luton, is it? So with Luton guaranteed
this lad that
relegated.
got up top looks all right. What's
Better.
his name? Better. Yeah, look at that pressing. Oh shit, he needed set up. Okay, yeah. They called for offside when it came off their own player,
Oh,
and it's cost them. That's because they tried to claim an offside that never ever was. Everton's defence fell asleep. The ball came back from a Beto pressed the Arsenal defender. It deflected off him, went to the striker Nketiah, who was from an offside position, but it came off an Everton player. Martinelli gets put in when the Everton defence fell asleep, and it's 1-0.
what are they calling for there?
Martinelli, he hasn't
Could
even
that
had a
be
good start to the
offside?
season, has he?
Still,
No.
from the kick onto the player.
Great finish from Martinelli.
Because he's not
Curls it
tried to
round.
play it, has he?
It's a classic Martinelli finish there.
Because he's not tried to play it that way, so it can't be offside. Surely.
No, he's fine, mate. I'm sure they'll try and
No,
take
the
the
point
goal
I'm
away.
trying to say is,
Yeah,
are they going to take the play from Gabriel's kick onto Beto?
No.
who knows anymore?
No, mate. There's nothing. There's
Who
no
knows?
conversation around this.
There
goal
is.
standing.
There will be, I'm sure.
No, this goal is just a goal.
Is
It
it?
has
Yeah.
to be a goal, yeah. Everton's defence fell asleep.
Oh,
Checking it. See, this is where we're going in football.
Everton's defence fell asleep.
there's nothing in this, surely.
Everton should get punished for
You know
that.
what, I'm losing the love of football, man.
There is nothing in this. This is
Mate,
just a
This
goal.
game's
I knew
fucked.
yesterday Rashford that Hoyland goal was off. I just knew it.
Yeah.
I just knew it. You know.
They're looking for excuses to rule goals off. That's how bad the game's gone.
Don't.
They're trying to. Do you see the Diaby finish for Aston Villa? And
That should be
took
a
that.
goal.
It's
Because
crazy.
he hasn't intentionally played it forward. He played it sideways and it came off the Everton player. I don't want to see Arsenal go up front,
What are they
obviously.
checking? What is it?
is offside.
No.
0-0. Arsenal.
Fucking hell, man. I don't get what's happening.
I feel that's unfair, you know.
It's pathetic,
Or
man.
are we being
It's-
unfair and thinking that should be allowed?
Oh, my
I
God.
don't
Is that the
see-
correct decision?
But Martinelli.
Chat.
No.
Get a poll going. Chat.
But this isn't football.
Have Arsenal
That's
been
not
robbed?
football. You can't go back infinite amount of time, all right? I know Everton fans will be happy about it. I get that. How far back are we going in football? What are we doing with football? What are we trying to do with this product of football?
No, mate.
Making it less enjoyable, less entertaining, taking away good. We've just
It's a
seen
really good
Martinelli,
goal,
great
lovely
goal.
goal.
He's held his run, great finish, under pressure. It's embarrassing. This is not football. It's just not football. What they've done yesterday, they're telling Heckenbottom Sheffield United to pump it long. Referees are telling footballers how to play football. It's embarrassing. Taking away Diaby's great goal for Aston Villa. They're ruining football in this country. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree with you, mate. There's no reason to rule that goal out. I don't understand why it would be ruled out. And yeah, you're right. Gabriel Martinelli has had a really good goal disallowed. A goal that he needs. He hasn't had a great start to the season. Yeah, ridiculous. Everton, though, given a lifeline.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if I was an Arsenal fan. Because
How far back was that?
also, he's not played it forward.
Yeah.
He tried to play it to his, was it the centre-back or the full-back next to him?
But they didn't look at that, did they? It's just any touch, isn't it?
But if you were an Everton fan, would you be appealing? Would you be thinking that's the right decision?
I love
Look,
football.
look,
so-
look.
Hang on.
He's played it sideways, so he's gone to play it to, is it Saliba there? See,
Hang on.
and then Beto's kind of kicked it, and Nketiah's come from the
get it.
offside position.
I don't get it.
It wasn't given for Martinelli, was it?
No, it was given for the Nketiah coming from deep, wasn't it?
Someone farted, bruv. Stinks in here at the moment. Jesus.
You smell it, dealt it.
He denied it. Supplied it. I love how that tickled you. That's so old. Look, there we go.
Man. What are they doing to this beautiful game?
And
Hang on.
Nketiah's only
Is he even
marginally
offside?
offside.
Nketiah's not exactly a mile off, is he? Hang on.
Man. What are they doing? Oh, fucking hell. It's embarrassing, isn't it? It is embarrassing.
I mean, is it
He's
his
not
trailing
even-
foot? He's not even offside.
We're looking at the offside
He's not
line
even
again.
offside. Nketiah's not even offside.
They're honestly trying to find ways to rule
Yeah,
out
that's what it
football,
feels like. It feels like they're going out of their way to
to
discount
cover their
goals.
backs for their own cowardly performances during live games. You know, that's what it is. It's pathetic.
Was Trossard already on, or is he coming on? Oh, Martinelli's going off injured.
Wow. So he has a goal unfairly
He just
ruled off
held
and then he
his,
gets substituted off.
Hammy, I think. Maybe it's
That's a miss. I don't think
Bad-
Trossard's been lightning. I don't think he's been
bad
lightning.
miss.
It's not-
Bad miss for the
Good
week
player,
they've
but
got
too
coming
bad.
up, Martinelli, as well. Think about the big week they've got. They don't need injuries.
He's going straight down the tunnel.
tunnel.
Not a good 5-10 minutes for Arsenal,
No.
but they're playing they're a better team.
Yeah, they'll get another opportunity. It's not a, it's
Well, you
early
say
in the
that, they
season,
might
but it's
not. You know, they might not.
Yeah.
You can't have
You shouldn't have
your
to say
goals.
that.
You shouldn't have
Yeah,
to.
you shouldn't have to justify.
Yeah.
Football is not historically about this. It's about entertainment, end to end. If someone's goal hanging, he's 25 yards offside. Obviously, that's an issue. But fucking hell, these little marginal calls. Where are we going with the sport?
Yeah, mate, I completely agree. It's ridiculous.
It's just not what it is.
Also, that Nketiah, I'm not 100% convinced that Nketiah was offside anyway. By the proper definition of the word offside, by the proper definition of what offside is supposed to mean, I'm not convinced he was offside. No, it's ridiculous. Really is.
It's crazy.
It's every week as well, isn't it? It
Crazy.
feels like we're having this conversation literally every week.
And I thought VAR was here to kind of make it completely like a utopic like reality that there's no bad decisions ever in football. That was what we were sold. Remember? We were sold that kind of dream. We were sold that VAR would get rid of every issue in football
Yeah.
on the pitch.
No, but the trouble is it's still subjective, isn't it? There's still a lot of decisions that are still subjective. Funny, isn't it, when you think Leandro Trossard and Mykhailo Mudryk, they've got a kind of sliding doors moment in their career, the pair of them, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
The OGs at the moment, it's 56% say no offside. 44% say yes, it was.
There'll be
offside.
people that react to the thing and they say, well, objectively speaking, was he offside at one point in the build-up play? I think we can probably agree he was. But the fact they're able to go back a little bit earlier and kind of analyse these situations, it's just not what football's about.
They're not gone back though, have they? Because it's the instance where
It's in the build-up play. It's in the build-up play, but
I just think it's a silly rule.
it's micro-analysing.
I think by
every
the rules
situation.
is probably correct. It's come off the Arsenal player, so it's based off that pass. Declan Rice just had a shot blocked from inside the 18-yard box. Arsenal attacking, cross to the back post.
Right, to get off him.
And Ben White's taking it off. Who was coming in behind him? Not sure. He's taking it off his teammates.
Ben White's got a little goatee going on. I'm not sure about that, lads. I'm not sure about the goatee.
I mean, there's never a need, is there?
It's very 1990s.
Very Ricky. I just think Ricky Gervais.
The bloke from Scooby-Doo. What's his name? Remember?
No.
The Scooby-Doo live-action movie from the early 2000s?
Did he have a goatee?
Yeah, he had like a little...
Who was it? Shaggy and
Shaggy.
Scoob.
Yeah.
Thelma.
Velma.
Is that the one with Sarah?
Velma.
Was that the one with
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar in it?
Yeah.
Worldy.
Yeah. Who played?
It was...
Who played
Mr.
Shaggy?
Shaggy.
Maybe that's what they should do.
What,
Make Shaggy
Scooby-Doo
play
remake?
Shaggy.
Get Shaggy to play Shaggy. Who's gonna have your back when it's all done?
Oh God! What are Everton doing?
God, I've got no chilled water either.
I'm so
Chilled
thirsty, man.
We're in a studio, yeah?
It's 100
I'm not
degrees,
saying I
literally
don't.
no
I don't want
water.
someone to rub my feet. I'm not saying anything like that. But I want at least a bit of water. And
Who's gonna
our
have your
refrigerator
back when
is not
it's
connected
all
to the
done?
electric. All right, that's what we're living with today in the studio.
I wanna show the nation my appreciation.
Everton. I haven't seen him string two passes together.
No, they're dreadful, aren't
They're
they?
Looking
shit,
to hit
aren't
him on
they?
a
Do you know?
counter.
Do you know? I think that there should be a conversation around Sean Dyche more than there is. I don't understand it. I feel like Sean Dyche is one of the managers that has to be the most protected amongst Premier League football fans. Just if you're,
I
if you're
think
a
he is
Premier
the
League
manager Everton need.
Yeah. Of course he is.
Like he provides some source of stability when there's no stability at that club whatsoever.
Mm.
In like, and I know that fella, what's his name, spent loads of money on that. Farhad Mashiri, or what his name is. But it's not.
Have you seen?
it doesn't
Have you
show.
seen the company 777 that Everton are potentially going to be sold to?
I don't know everything about them.
Have you seen it?
Not
But
enough.
I know who you're on about. I
Mate,
know-
so this
Yeah.
777 who are potentially going to buy Everton, it's a disaster. And I desperately hope for Evertonians' sake that it doesn't happen. It's about as bad as you could possibly hope it to be. So they bought Seville, and Seville bottom of the league. They bought Genoa, and Genoa were relegated. The geezer who owns 777 is two fellas. I think they're from Florida. One of them might not be able to buy the club because he was convicted drug smuggler. The other fella has a charge. It's shambolic.
Are they trying to take a controlling stake then?
They're taking
in this situation?
Mashiri. So Mashiri owns about 96% of the club, and they're going to take
The whole club.
no
basically.
96%. It would be 100% if it was the whole club.
96 is like a massive,
No,
yeah,
but
thanks for that.
no, but
Thanks for being pedantic when you're trying to talk about a deeply traumatic experience for Evertonians who are loyally watching the club. You're being pedantic about 4%.
No,
you know what I'm trying to say? A massive
sorry.
majority.
When I said 96%, you went,
Yeah.
"Oh, the whole thing." I
Yeah.
went, "Oh, sorry,
That
I
is
didn't
the whole
realise you
thing.
didn't understand."
So that's
No,
a controlling interest.
no, 96% is Mashiri's thing,
Yeah.
and they're going to buy that.
Yeah, so they're going to buy 96%, which you round up to 100%. Yeah.
No,
You round up to 100% from 96.
No.
You don't round down to zero, do you?
no,
you
you
round
just 96%, 96. So, for example, Ken Wright
Yeah.
may keep his.
4%.
No, not 4 because he hasn't got 4. He's got.
Oh, serious football chat from the lads, talking about one of the oldest clubs in England being bought out by some dodgy guys from America.
777.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
gambling
right.
there, isn't it?
777.
777.
Someone likes a casino.
And yeah, mate, Seville, you know how we think of Seville, obviously, perennial European champions and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. They're bottom of the league.
Yeah. And they were struggling last season.
And Genoa are down.
Yeah.
So yeah, not good
Did
news.
Al
for
Nesri leave there in the end? Did he
Who?
leave? Al Nesri. Is it Al Nesri? Because he was linked with a move to Prem, innit? I don't know if he's still
He probably
staying
joined Chelsea. You just never heard of him.
Pochettino never met him.
No, he's still there.
Do you see Pochettino with Malang Sarr when he literally didn't know who he was? Terrible. I actually thought Pochettino didn't handle that well.
No, you got to be smart and just say,
He's
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Because the reporter's not going to lie to you there because he's...
Yeah.
Imagine you're reporting, you're lying to
You're making
Pochettino.
up players.
Have you heard of a guy called Sarr and you never get invited back?
Yeah.
So you just say, yeah, of course I heard of him.
Oh, he's done him there.
Well played.
The Corre's done Declan Rice.
Go on,
He's running towards the
shoot.
box into 18-yard box.
That's a pen.
Oh,
Get a pen.
He's gone down, but it's not a pen.
Penalty.
It's not a pen.
That's
It's
a
not a pen.
penalty.
It's not a pen. It's not a pen. He's lost the ball and then thought, all right, I'm just going to go down.
That's better.
He should have got his shot.
What is that? Who's that?
Trossard.
He's won it back, the Corre.
Who's that?
Trossard.
He's overrated, man.
He's twatted it straight at the defender.
Become a bit of a game at least. Everyone's
on,
going to put a
Bell.
bit of fight in.
Go on.
Beto might be off.
Oh, fucking hell. Trossard's, I'm not a fan of him. Never have been.
Trossard.
Yeah, I think he
mate,
gets a
good player.
lot.
He's
He gets a
a
lot.
Player.
Trossard
I
and
remember
Jota
what
for me
they've
is two
signed him
that...
for.
Yeah, I can still say, yeah.
You're not a fan of Jota?
I don't think they play football in a beautiful way. I don't think they do much.
Oh.
You know,
Saka's won a free kick. You know what I thought was odd with Southgate? Well, I don't think it's odd. It was kind of expected, but like the other day they had a friendly against Scotland. And
Yeah.
you're playing
smash him off the park.
Harry Kane, Harry Maguire, all these like what is going on there?
Kane wants the record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
expand the record.
you're gonna get it. You'll get it with competitive.
He's
games.
already got the record.
So-
Hasn't he?
so-
I'm just
yeah,
saying
so-
he wants them. He's
And then you've got Nketiah on the bench who could still possibly declare for Ghana. I think showing himself to be a decent striker. Harry Kane's not getting any younger. Like, why aren't you giving this kid an opportunity and kind of making sure he's staying? Like, it was really this manager's stupid, bro. What have you got to learn by playing?
yeah, but he gets.
What have
okay.
you got to learn by playing Harry Kane?
All right, so let's say he
playing
starts
Harry
on
Maguire?
Nketiah and loses to Scotland. And he gets
So
slagged off
what?
endlessly. He gets slagged off endlessly.
Bro, he played every single player the same way. Strong teams in the Nations League got relegated.
I think the issue was bringing on Maguire, wasn't it? Like, he didn't need to bring him on.
No
He didn't.
need to play
and,
Harry
then, and then he
Kane.
started having a pop that people were talking about him. It's like, you've put him in the spotlight, mate. Like, the reason that we're talking about Harry Maguire
No,
is
but he
because
was
you've put him in the
Yeah,
spotlight.
but he was referring to Harry Maguire kind of at Man United as well, the social media stuff, and
Well, no,
I think he was fair enough to defend his player. He's been a loyal servant to Harry Maguire.
He was reacting to Scotland fans booing him.
Yeah, but he's
Scotland
also,
fans are
no,
supposed to boo England players.
Southgate was also saying that the scrutiny that Maguire's been under from journalists and pundits in the last few
That's
years
what happens
is
when you
unfair.
play for Manchester
It's
United.
also what happens when you play for England. So if you don't want it, if you want to give him a little break from the
Yeah.
spotlight, we wouldn't be talking about Maguire now if he didn't play that game. The fact that he came on, scored no goal, is Southgate's fault.
Also, like, you've got nothing to gain by playing Maguire. If you want to pick him for your competitive
I think
games,
in goals
fair
over,
enough,
it's
that's fine.
overhyped, man. I
But
think it's
picking him
overhyped.
in friendlies, bro. Why are you picking Harry Kane in a friendly? Why are you picking these players that you've got so much knowledge on? And some of these need a rest. Like Saka. You know
Yeah,
about
that-
Saka. You
yeah, I
don't
get
need to
that,
play
I get
Saka
that.
in a friendly against
Yeah,
Scotland.
yeah.
Like, it's real odd, man. Especially when there's so many England players that are on the fringes that could potentially become a good part of the
That's
squad.
true. That's true. Yeah.
I think, you know what it is? Next tournament's his last one, and he's like, fuck the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's got his.
Fuck the future.
I think he already knows his team, doesn't he? You know, when England start playing and we kick off our tournament and we're playing in the group Belgium in Gelsenkirchen or whatever it is, he knows the team that he's going to play. There's
yeah.
nothing that can happen in the Premier League in the next
I think
year.
there's only a couple. I think the second centre back
Is up for grabs,
Is
do
it
you think?
Dunk? Is it Maguire? If Maguire has a real
No,
stinker,
it's Maguire, mate. That's what I'm saying. I think he knows
I
the
think
team.
Dunk will get in there. If Dunk
Not
gets
a chance.
Not a
start
chance.
if
ahead
Dunk
of
gets
Maguire.
Brighton top 5, top 4, I think they could even finish
Not
top
a
4 this
chance.
season.
Not a chance.
Not
You don't think?
No. It's Maguire.
Harry Maguire could start 10 games for United this season, being the England.
Well, he's already, since the World Cup, Harry Maguire for England has started 10 games. For Manchester United, he started 11.
Yeah.
So do you see what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah,
matter what's
yeah.
happening at club form. It doesn't matter what's happening in
But
club
he has shown a bit of
Since the-
flexibility at
since
points.
the World
He's
Cup-
dropped Sterling, he dropped Jesse Lingard after a great spell with West Ham, didn't take him to the Euros. He has. I know what you're trying to say about Maguire. I think if Maguire was to really
Bro,
stay at Man
Henderson's
United for a
playing in
season, not
Saudi
play
Arabia,
football,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
that's an issue.
How
of
is
course
he
it
getting picked?
I think that's more of a comment on the lack of
You got some
players in
good
that
young
position.
players coming through again.
There's a lack of
Your
players in
Morgan
that position, mate.
Gibbs-Whites and all that. Like,
Yeah, but who else can play there? Calvin Phillips, Henderson, Rice. That's all we've got. We've got no one else.
Bellingham?
No, a defensive. No,
Oh,
a
sorry,
shield.
I thought you
A
meant
shield.
midfield.
Is it? Could you ask Bellingham to play deeper?
No.
And play Foden in front
No,
of him?
no, he's
don't think
more
he
of a
can
10.
anymore.
He's not playing 6 or 8. He's playing really hard the pitch. He's doing really well in that.
Scoring so many
but
goals
the thing
for Real
is, but
Madrid.
that's not what we have. That's not where we need him. Because Foden can do that job, or Maddison can do that job, and Bellingham may have to play
I don't
deeper.
think he fancies Foden.
No, you don't fancy Foden. I think Bellingham in that
How can you not fancy Foden?
No,
Hang on, you can't say
facts.
you can't
He said-
say
what was his
that.
comment
And
after the
then
game?
no, you're right. I know he doesn't, but you can't. You both went. No, he don't fancy Foden. Anyway, let's talk about something. What? He's a football man who doesn't fancy Foden.
Yeah.
How can you not fancy Foden if you are into football?
Yeah, it's mad.
Like Phil Foden,
If Pep
with those,
Guardiola
like
calls
liquid
Stigling,
hips, he is
the
like the
team's getting
perfect.
built
You
around
don't fancy
Phil
him in midfield, I think is the comment. I think he'll start
But
a
he
million
doesn't fancy him
percent.
on a wing either.
Yeah,
He
he
said
has
that.
to be starting probably left wing now. Because of Bellingham's
Wait for England,
rise. Yeah.
but he's not gonna get in.
Let's say we get, all right,
But hang
who
on,
are we
that's
playing?
the point.
First game, Poland, let's just say.
No,
Euro
but-
2024. He's not going to play Rice by himself with Foden and Bellingham. He's not.
But,
So I'd rather have Bellingham over Foden.
no, but he's obviously not going to play him on the wing.
Saka
He
got
literally
munched,
told
yeah.
us he's not going to do that.
exactly.
That was the
exactly,
comment, wasn't it?
Exactly. So he's not favoured. He's not liked.
No, what did he said something? He said there's a reason for that. Pep Guardiola doesn't play him there.
He brought
There's a
in
reason.
Guardiola. I thought that was really frustrating. That was before the Scotland game, and I was like, I didn't like that at all.
I think it's blatant foul here. But what
Oh.
I've got to say about it, the refs let it go on for about 20 seconds.
I think he might be expecting to Arsenal have possession still. Yeah, look.
Yeah, they did,
He's just
yeah.
trying to. He's just
But
trying.
then,
to
no,
see
but
if-
that's my point. They've had the advantage.
Yeah, that was a big foul on
I don't know.
Saka
It was
from
a
Tarkowski.
horrible foul. Probably a yellow card.
I'm so thirsty.
There's only water.
I'm spitting feathers as well. Should I order something?
I'm so thirsty.
I've got a Fanta, but it's now room temp.
That was funny, wasn't it? Buvey put it in the fridge, right? The fridge isn't plugged in. Jack, our producer, went to him. You're warming it up, if anything.
Yeah, because that keeps the hot air in
I
there.
just don't get it.
Yeah. No, you're warming it up, if anything, mate.
Wait, what is it? A cost of living crisis? Why have we not got a plugged-in fridge? I mean, what
Well,
where
it
are
is
we
a
living?
cost of living crisis, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is that
It
the
is.
reason that the cost of
Literally
living? What is that the reason?
We live
my
in the
Fanta's
real
now
world.
room temp.
If that's the height of your problems, you're a very lucky man, baby.
I'm very lucky.
The problem is my Fanta is room temp.
That's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to drink out of tap at half time. It's ridiculous.
Nothing wrong with a bit of council
Tap
pop.
water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst hairline going.
Who's that?
Ben White. He's got this goatee
Whoa,
going on.
whoa.
Has he got the goatee? Is he
What?
the... Yeah.
Lads, come on.
You like the goatee?
We're all going to be hopefully on camera for a while.
Would
Yeah.
you have the goatee?
One of the things we can't do. Nah, I can't. It's
Yeah,
very,
exactly.
it's very Beppe DeMarco.
Is
Isn't
it Beppe DeMarco? Yeah. Rafael Benitez.
I don't think you could do brown face and
Beppe,
goatee
with
and not get called Beppe
Beppe
DeMarco.
DeMarco. Yeah. He became a poker player.
Did he?
But his name's Mark. You know, he's got a really normal name.
Yeah.
His
It's like
name's-
Furio in Sopranos. Have you heard him speak in real life?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What, is he from like the East End or something?
Yeah, I think he's just from London, just like an English bloke. His name is
What, Fury?
Remember when he was like,
the
country's-
Furio's from Haggerston, mate.
yeah. Do you know who lives in London? The fellow who plays Junior Corrado. Because his
Wait.
wife's from England.
Junior Soprano lives in England.
Yeah.
He's dead now, isn't
I
he?
was watching it. No.
I think he might be.
No, he's
don't
not.
know.
He's
No.
not. Dominic Chianese, he's not dead. I was watching an interview with
Michael Greco.
Michael That's his
Michael
name.
Greco.
He had his brother as well in it that looked like Dane Bowers.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of your mind.
This is what a banger.
Dame Bowers. Do you remember
Victoria
when he was like...
Beckham and the Hot
Yeah.
Steppers.
Yes. Great tune. Yeah.
That was around the era of, was it Daniel Bedingfield at that time?
Yeah.
Oh, gotta get through it.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, you know what? Come on the other day. Big banger. We were out, I think. Natasha Bedingfield.
Oh, fuck
What,
me.
unwritten?
Oh, what a tune.
What, in Brighton?
Yeah, we was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Standing.
You know, this
at
guy
the
came up to me. Do you remember the
before
7
you.
foot Brighton guy? This guy, on my life, he was 7 foot tall. On my life. I've never seen anything so. He came up to me like that. I said, I've heard what you've said about Brighton. I said, fucking hell. I fucking shat myself. He said, I love it, mate. I love how you love the Zerbi. Big up the club, he said. I thought I'm going to get my shit kicked out of me in Brighton. Honestly, I would have said anything.
Brighton's a cool place, man. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We stayed in a mental bit, but then there was like little like what was it called?
Lanes,
the lane.
the lanes,
I love the lanes. Yeah, it's nice, man. Oh, have we
Shot
got an
from Ben
Arsenal
White.
fan sat over there? By the way,
I think we
You
might.
know.
I
enough-
just seen
enough of
someone
them.
get excited then when the shot went in. Oh, what are you doing? Jesus Christ, he's in the mud with me.
Well, he's an Arsenal fan.
In Man
No,
United,
Man
fan.
United fan.
So why is he celebrating that?
I think,
You know, he
might-
celebrated.
I think you know Man United fans. We've gone through a difficult period. I think.
It's been a difficult 10 years.
Oh Jesus!
Do you think it's
The only thing
30
that
years
could
till
be
you win
worse
the league?
is if we're Everton fans.
Do you think when's the next time you win the league? Give me like a calendar year.
I was thinking about this the other day
Yeah.
because when Fergie won it, it was 26 years the first time.
Yeah.
It's been 10. It's going to be 11. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. I'd like to think when Pep leaves, it'd be a bit more open, and you never know. But it could be 10 years.
So 10
there's
on 10, so
nothing's
20.
guaranteed in life.
Well, yeah, I don't see why any Manchester United fan looking at their performances at the moment, or any Chelsea fan looking at their performances at the moment, couldn't even play that game. Like, there's no reason to think that you ever win it again. Nobody has a God-given right to win a league. No, but
No, you're right.
Winning the league is a really special thing that very few clubs achieve.
Yeah.
So to go to a Man United fan who currently 15th in the league or whatever, just lost 3-1 at home and have won 1 or 2 games all season, when you're next going to win the league, we ain't won it for a decade. No. There's no reason to suggest you're going to win it in the next
They have to
decade.
focus on getting 3 points next week.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you could maybe ask a Man City fan. You could obviously ask a Man City fan. You could potentially ask an Arsenal fan who kind of nearly won it last year.
Maybe Liverpool. Just for
Liverpool
the
have won
side
it
they've
more
got.
recently enough.
I was a different person in 2013.
Yeah, who were you?
I just leaving uni.
Yeah.
Just starting, it was my first year YouTube.
Did you think
I
out of
still
interest,
potentially thought I could do law. I was
Yeah.
kind of working for my dad.
when you won with Van Persie,
I was a pisshead.
did you think you were going to win immediately the following
I
season?
thought David Moyes was going to just bring sexy back straight away.
And you thought you were going to win the league?
Yeah, we beat Swansea 4-1 on the opening day of the season. Van Persie scored 2 and Welbeck scored 2. Jesus, and he's just scored the winner at Old Trafford. But I just thought, yeah, here we go, rocking to the.
But do you know what I thought?
We
that
should have
as well,
done.
Buvey.
If we got Mourinho next, we would have won the league.
You know when Manchester United, like lost Ferguson, so they won the league and Ferguson left. I think now a lot of people go, I knew that when Ferguson left, we were never going to win it again or whatever. I didn't feel like that at all at the time. When Van Persie won the league that year, I thought they'd win the league the next year, or at least compete. Certainly,
I recognise.
And you would have never said it.
If you told me we would not win the league for 10 years, I'd be
Not
like,
as bad as what Moyes
Jack.
was, but as a City fan, 'cause we were the ones competing with you that season, we fell off. Obviously, he scored that goal at
And
the
the Premier
Etihad, Van
League's changed
Persie.
since then.
Totally.
I'd never have pictured.
It was a poor league.
I'd never have
2013 was
pictured
poor quality.
Spurs doing what they were doing. Since then,
Yeah.
I never thought I'd ever see the day Liverpool win the league again, and they went and won it.
It's funny, that, isn't it?
Like
Yeah, it's funny.
Man City winning.
No,
and
that's
breaking all
what
these
I was about to
records.
say. Hang on. Tottenham doing what they're doing, you can often have the anomaly or whatever, and Tottenham have flattered to deceive in the past. The total game changer for the Premier League and clubs like Manchester United and Chelsea, and when Manchester United last won the league, the thing that we could have never predicted is that Manchester City would have won 6 out of 10.
I also think
They've won 60% of the leagues in the last decade.
When you look at it as well, I don't think there was also with the Premier League money becoming so big, and then all these other say it respectfully, smaller teams, they start investing in their infrastructure, in everything. Now everyone's competing. So, all right, you're maybe not competing with Brighton for the league, but guess what? They're going to take 6 points off you in the season.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that massively changed as well, and Manchester City were part of this, there was a time when there were 4 Champions League spots available to the Premier League, and there were 4 clubs that were capable of getting into it. So in no particular order, Arsenal are in here. In no particular order, you would always get into the Champions League. It was a God-given right. You had the Champions League. Like it was up for debate whether you finished first or fourth, or second or third, or whatever. That was up for debate. But in no particular order, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United were always going to be in the Champions League because there were 4 spots available, and those 4 clubs would finish 10 points ahead of whoever finished fifth.
Fergie finished third, and it was disaster.
Yeah,
it was like, geez.
Yeah. Well, even in 2012, when we finished 6th, we won the European Cup and the FA Cup, but we finished 6th. That was like Tottenham got into the Champions League, and it was newsworthy. It was like, oh my God, Tottenham.
Was that Peter Crouch, Redknapp, and that?
Yeah, I think they beat City.
Yeah, Martin Phillip was in goal.
Yeah, I think they beat.
He was emergency loan. Do you remember that? Shaken got injured.
But then we kicked them out of it. We won the European Cup, and then they didn't get to play in it. So there were like that's what changed everything was Manchester City. It was not the money, because the money is why, but it wasn't when they got money, because lots of clubs have got money. It's when they spent the money well and started winning. That's when the Premier League sort of changed, because all of a sudden there were 5 teams, and then Tottenham did flatter with that. They flattered to deceive with that kind of spell where they were qualifying for Europe. And suddenly Arsenal didn't qualify for a long time. Arsenal went a decade without a trophy under Wenger. People forget that. Arsene Wenger went 9 years without a trophy.
They've gone over 20 without a league title.
They've gone at
Well, it's
20
gonna be
now.
20,
20 now,
20,
yeah.
yeah.
20 years
If they
without
don't
a
win
league.
it down.
20 years out of title.
20 years since they last won the league.
Crazy.
But when you think about it, like you think of Wenger's, I was about to say dominance. He didn't dominate, but when you think of like Wenger's good times,
It's only
you
3
think
league
he,
titles.
yeah,
isn't it?
you think he
3
sure,
league
did he win
titles,
5 leagues?
Yeah.
No, he won 3.
Yeah. What he did though, in that time, he won 2 doubles, which is obviously domination. When you win a double, it's huge. He won 2 doubles, and the year that they were invincible, they didn't win the European Cup, but Arsenal should have been the first London club to win a European Cup. We stopped them. We beat them at Highbury, Wayne Bridge.
Inter beat him at Highbury as well, didn't he? 3 up of him and Martins.
Yeah, but the year
Wow,
that we knocked them out of Europe to stop them winning the European Cup.
We
I
knocked
think.
them out of the FA Cup.
And then obviously the other moment for Wenger, which again could have been so different, they got to a European final 2 years later.
Oh,
They got to the European Cup final in Paris.
Barcelona.
Yeah. Eto'o and Belletti.
And they were 1-0 up.
Oh,
Terrible pass. my
Sol
God.
Campbell header. What a header that was.
Eto'o won that game, didn't he?
No, Belletti.
Oh, that's a shocking decision.
Etu got the winner against Man United in Rome. Do
It was Giuliano Belletti that got the winner.
you remember the one in Rome?
Ashley Young's been booked here. Let me see.
And at Wembley? No,
Let me see.
No, Pedro at Wembley.
All right, no.
but Barcelona won
Yeah,
at Wembley.
yeah,
against
they
Man
won it at
United.
Wembley.
Gone
Yeah,
through
yeah.
the player.
But
I thought he
Pedro
won the
scored.
ball.
Yeah. But yeah, it's. I think you can't call it a Wenger dominance because obviously Arsenal.
No, they didn't dominate.
Obviously, Manchester United were winning more. But you know, if it had gone slightly differently for them, there were eras of like 2 doubles. What was it? 1998 they
incredible,
won the double. 2002 they won the double.
The style of play has to be
And then
mentioned as well. The style of
2004,
play was
and then
crazy.
2004 they went invincible. So they went double, invincible, European Cup final.
They play football the way
Never
I think football
retained
should be played. That physicality, but beautiful on the ball.
Never
that
retained it.
mixture. Do you think Pep Guardiola's got a better legacy than Wenger in the Premier League?
Yes.
Pep Guardiola.
Has Pep Guardiola got a better legacy than Wenger in the Premier League?
Yeah, obviously. Wait,
Yeah.
What?
I think Arsene Wenger means...
there's a debate there.
I think
isn't there,
Arsene
surely?
Wenger...
No.
I think
You don't
without,
think there's a debate?
without Arsene Wenger, the Premier League... Obviously,
Guardiola's
he's not the only man there, but
Yeah.
without Arsene Wenger, the Premier League doesn't become what it is, and therefore it doesn't have the audiences and stuff which take to Pep Guardiola and his football and all that.
Yeah.
But Pep Guardiola
What
has
he's
achieved
achieved.
way more.
Yeah.
Like,
100
way
point
more.
season.
But I don't think he changed the league as much as Wenger did.
I think he did.
I think he has.
No, I think he's changed English
He's
football.
changed-
What I'm
he's
saying is,
changed
I don't
English
think he's made as big of a change.
I think those
to the point
changes.
what I mean.
The thing is,
Yeah,
we
because
credit
we'd already
Wenger,
seen
but
Wenger.
we credit Wenger
You get
with
it?
that. But I
Yeah.
think a lot of those changes were happening anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, like Ruud Gullit was playing here, and he was like bringing in changes at Chelsea. Like footballers.
Fergie was getting rid of all the drinkers.
Footballers
and
was
all
being
that
told
shit,
to stop drinking, regardless of whether Wenger was here or not. Footballers were being told to stop smoking, whether Arsene Wenger was here or not. Of course, Wenger, huge contribution to English football. I'm not saying that he hasn't at all. But if we're comparing it to Guardiola, I think Guardiola's
What is it then? Fergie 1, Mourinho 2?
best managers in the Premier League.
Yeah, legacy
No,
and
Guardiola's
best.
second.
I'll take
Guardiola's
that.
second, of
I
course.
think I have to take that, yeah.
Guardiola's second. Fergie, untouchable.
Mourinho,
Mourinho, third.
3rd. Wenger, 4th.
Oh man,
And then it
I
becomes
think
that's
Klopp. When's
crazy.
Klopp
I
come
think
in?
Wenger, Mourinho are
One
kind of,
league.
you know, when you put equal third, and then the next guy's 5.
No, it's Mourinho.
don't-
Mourinho did it.
Do you know what it is? Yeah.
Mourinho's.
They've got the same amount of Premier League titles.
Yeah,
right?
but how many years?
yeah, but
That is true.
still, man. Like, look what Arsene Wenger wasn't managing a team like.
It's not just
Chelsea.
trophies, it has to be how
Chelsea were a
iconic they
team
are.
Towards the end of Wenger's career, that were just geared towards winning
Wenger
trophies.
is the Premier League. Wenger is the Premier League. Mourinho's more an amazing spell with Chelsea in the Premier League. Wenger is the Premier League. In
He's not,
terms of,
he's not
Don't
the Premier
understand
League.
that.
no, but
Fergie's the Premier League.
Fergie and Wenger is the closest to the kind of the battle between Arsenal and Man United in the 90s. What you said earlier about the kind of branding of the Premier League, that is Wenger
Yeah.
and Fergie.
I don't agree. I think.
And then Mourinho and Guardiola more trophies. and
Mourinho.
success.
If you do a Mourinho
No, Mourinho's
versus
got the
Wenger,
same Premier League titles.
Mourinho versus Wenger. If you do a head-to-head, Mourinho smashes
No,
it.
but you've got
Yeah,
to
but
take
talking
into
about the
context
legacy,
what
the
clubs
history.
they had.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Like that was,
Interesting, yeah.
that, it's not like Mourinho had Chelsea in 95. You know what I mean?
No.
He had Chelsea in 05 when Roman Abramovich came in and pumped that money in. You had Arsene Wenger who, all right, he spent some money. But that Arsenal team, once they left Highbury, went for a massive transition to where they were no longer looking to buy the best players and that. They were selling their best players.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So Wenger's last, was it 10 years?
10 years.
Yeah.
He wasn't really expected to win the league.
Kept getting the
He
Champions
didn't
League,
have a
top four,
team that
top
could
four.
win the league. Wenger wouldn't have won the league with that team. Mourinho wouldn't have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I know.
The
but
context
I
of
don't,
what they were managing under was very different. is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I suppose I agree with that.
Would
mate.
would Mourinho, for example, have got Arsenal top four as many times as it did in that kind of
With Bentner
we're
and all
building
that.
a stadium
Buvey at right
era?
back.
I don't know. I just think that if you're doing like the Premier League greats of managers, I think that
the results have to come into
yeah,
it.
like Mourinho is undoubtedly in there.
What about Mourinho going to Man United and then Spurs? Does that dampen the kind of lineage?
No.
No. I mean,
he did what he did.
kind of
You can't
upsets
take it
me
away.
personally. It kind of upset
Yeah,
me.
the
Like my
narrative.
relationship with him.
Well,
I don't-
Fergie's one club, Wenger's one club.
The OGs are voting, and 54% agree with Rory.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm very split.
the
I
other
think
thing-
they're
Yeah, I think
joint
it's
third
close.
is
yeah, I
what
don't.
would put it
I
at.
think if you can't split them, if you think their contribution is the same and you can't split them and you have to split them,
I think their
just look
contribution
at
is
their,
different. Though.
Just look at their head. Like, you know, on Arsene Wenger's 1,000th game, his 1,000th game in charge of football, he came to Stamford Bridge. Everything was about Arsene Wenger. I think he was on the cover of the programme. It's Wenger's day. 6-0 Mourinho done him. 6-0.
It's embarrassing.
6.
It's embarrassing.
6-0 on his special
I'd
day.
rather Wenger be managing my club, is what I would say.
You wouldn't.
What?
you wouldn't-
Wait,
'cause you
prime
they went 10
Wenger
years without a
at Man
trophy.
United over prime Mourinho.
But prime Wenger doesn't go 10
It's
years
prime
without
Mourinho,
a
actually.
trophy
It's
at Man
prime
United
Mourinho.
because the resources
Yeah, but-
would have been different.
Yeah, but you
we
were-
had the
yeah, but-
stadium. We had
Go
all
for
that
go
kind
for the
of
big.
stuff.
Go for the positive.
He became
aspect.
a manager that
Prime
was
Man
getting
United, the
a
golden
fifth-
generation with Mourinho. You'd win a treble.
But,
Wenger wouldn't win a treble with you
but
lot.
what I'm saying is Wenger was a manager that had to deal with the constraints that he had towards then.
Yeah.
So he was no longer expected to
Yeah, but
win the
even when he
league.
didn't have the constraints,
Yeah, but that's the back end of his
Mourinho
time.
was
That's
at
not.
Roman
He didn't win-
Abramovich's
That's not the most
Chelsea.
relevant part of his
Wait,
argument,
he didn't
is
win
it?
the European. He didn't win the European Cup when he had the best team in the world.
Okay, that's a good point.
He had the best team
But
in
We
the
have
world.
to use that because we're not
Mourinho never won the
talking about
European Cup
Mourinho
at
at
Chelsea.
Spurs. We're not talking about Mourinho at Spurs.
Mourinho
We're talking
never
about
won the
Mourinho at
Mourinho's a
Chelsea.
serial European Cup winner.
But he never won the European Cup of
No,
Chelsea.
but he's a serial European Cup winner.
You want it Inter Milan?
We're ranking him their Premier League careers here as well. Like he never won the European Cup
He
of Chelsea.
retained the Premier
He
League.
retained the league. Yeah, that's a big one.
He retained the Premier League,
That's
and
a
he
big
came
one.
back
And
a
the defensive
decade.
record.
Hang on, with Mourinho as well. He won the Premier League, retained it. Every time he won the Premier League, by the way, those first 2 years, we won another trophy as well. So it wasn't just a Premier League. So it was a Premier League and a League Cup. He came back a decade later, won the Premier League and the League Cup again, beating Tottenham in the final.
Yeah.
So he won it in 05 and then he won it in 15. 10
Yeah.
years later, he came back to Chelsea, won it again. In terms of your contribution to the league, also, if you're doing just who's a better manager, Wenger or Mourinho?
Mourinho's better manager.
Mourinho.
I think Wenger.
Just Mourinho. Like, I don't even like my loyalty to Mourinho has definitely dissipated. He was at Tottenham. You know, I don't love the man like I used to. But he's just Mourinho would never go a decade without.
Does
a trophy.
Wenger do what he did at Inter Milan? No
But
way.
Mourinho
No way.
would never stick
Would he do
around
what he
at
did
an
at
Arsenal
Porto?
team.
It's not
that-
about if he
Not about
sticks
stick
around.
around. Sticking
but
around, great.
He'd never stick around at an Arsenal team that have to sell everything.
No, but so Wenger Mourinho could have stayed at Porto for ages, couldn't he? Could have stayed there 10 years, whatever.
I'd rather Wenger.
Mourinho at Porto, European Cup, mental, absolutely mental.
Yeah, incredible achievement.
Inter Milan, one of the most incredible achievements in football, let alone anything else. Arsene Wenger went a decade without.
We were
a
just
trophy.
ranking him on Premier League, but also the club that he had weren't supposed to. I know they got to the semi-finals. We knocked them out in 08, 09, 09.
Mm.
But I don't know what Wenger was
what-
having to put up
when
with
you're
at
saying
that
the
point in
club that he
time
was
was they were selling all their best players.
No, but you're talking
was
about
out
that
of his
particular time
control.
because it suits your argument.
Yeah,
What
because
about
it was the end of his career.
But
They
what
still
about
had
when
Van Persie up front. They still had a top four side.
they got to the semi-finals of the European Cup?
Yeah, they were getting to semi-finals. The fact they didn't go, they went 10 years not
But if
winning,
he
not
didn't
win
turn
one
Van
League
Persie
Cup.
from the young player he was into the player he became.
But they were getting to League Cup finals. They lost to Birmingham City and stuff like that. They had no
that's
bottle
true,
for
that's
10
true,
years.
that's true.
Also, let's
Bear in mind, I did say I think they were level third.
yeah, but if you have to separate,
You have to
we're
separate.
making our cases to separate.
Okay, the way I would try and separate is them. Who would I rather manage my club? Arsene Wenger.
I'd rather have Arsene Wenger manage Man City as the kind of guy he is. As a ruthless, results-based thing, Mourinho's a better manager.
My point is, Wenger's results could have been better at a club that had the resources.
But you know,
of
you
Chelsea,
keep talking.
or had
You
the
keep
resources
talking
of
about the
Man United.
resources and that.
He
They
had a
had
big
the best team in the world.
Because
Arsene
of
Wenger,
Wenger.
yeah, fine, but they didn't win the European Cup.
They didn't buy the best team in the world.
Oh, they bought what? Thierry Henry came through.
But he came from Juventus and he wasn't a striker. He played on the wing. He
Mourinho,
wasn't the
Mourinho
Thierry
didn't
Henry
sign
that
all
he
11
was.
players. He made John Terry a fantastic player who's already there and Lampard, etc. So everyone's
this
got
is the debate.
signings. Everyone's got players
Yeah.
that have come from the academy.
Yeah, Didier Drogba arrived. He was raw. And then he went on to become one of the most efficient.
But he
Mourinho's
was
a
also-
fantastic coach.
But Didier Drogba, Arjen Robben, Michael Essien, Claude Mack, all these players Manchester United were after most of these players. Like these players that were already highly touted, highly looked after. From when Michael Essien was coming from Lyon, everyone in Europe wanted him. Like obviously you could argue, and someone would probably say, "Oh, Vieira was wanted by so and so," but Henry leaving Juventus, it wasn't because he was doing really well.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you could argue with some other, like Vieira came over.
Wenger did better at kind of turning a rougher situation into a decent situation. We don't know about Mourinho. When things got bad for Mourinho, he tends to leave clubs. That's the situation. But at the top end of the game, Mourinho's side,
that was an amazing era.
They would have been invincible.
When they were having the the pair of them. Do you remember when Mourinho called Wenger a specialist in failure
And I thought,
and a voyeur?
Yeah.
Says he only
Talks
looks at
about me
other
all the
people.
time.
Yeah.
Talks about me all the time. This guy. Why does he talk about me all the time? Is he a voyeur?
I remember when Fergie softened towards Wenger, and it was like,
No, but he softened to him
Wenger's
because
no
he battered
longer-
him all the
that's
Yeah,
time.
he was
that's-
soft. Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
That was my point.
Yeah,
He's no longer a threat now.
Yeah.
And that was a bit like, mad.
Ferguson and Mourinho had a very respectful relationship. He'd, in his book, Mourinho talks about it. He would always take him a bottle of Portuguese wine.
Because he found out like Fergie liked wine and that, innit? He brought him a bottle.
Always
every
take him a
time.
bottle of Portuguese wine, regardless of what was going on the touchline. And apparently, this is in Mourinho's book, so I don't know if Ferguson would corroborate this. But Ferguson wouldn't have a glass of wine with everybody, with every manager. He would pick and choose. If he liked the manager, he would
Sometimes it'd be his
invite.
assistant.
Otherwise it would be the assistant, exactly. And it would always be Ferguson when Mourinho was.
Yeah.
When Mourinho would knock on a door, Ferguson was there every single time.
Wow.
Can you
I'm
imagine those
always
two?
there
Can you
when
imagine
you
that conversation? Do you know I would pay? I don't have much money, but whatever spare money I have, I would pay to be in that room.
Have you heard the story
When
about
those two-
Mourinho,
I would love it. I'd just give
learning-
anything to be there.
about Moyes getting the Man United job?
Yeah, he cried.
He was doing an interview
Yeah.
in Spain with a journalist. I've heard this from someone that was there as well. And he was doing this interview with this journalist. He's in a really good mood, having a great chat and that. And then the knock on the door and he gets called out of the room. I think he's to go and have a phone call with his agent or whatever. And he goes outside and they tell him,
Moyes has got the
Moyes has got the job. It's not you, it's Moyes. And when he went back in, he'd been crying.
Yeah.
He was a mess. He thought he had that job nailed in. Because Fergie met Pep in New York. And then I think Pep had said he was taking a sabbatical or something like that.
Di Matteo done it.
He'd spoken to Mourinho. Mourinho was left under the impression that job's mine. And I think if we did get
Realistically, it
Mourinho,
should
we
have
win the league.
It should have been Mourinho.
Again, because he has those ready-made winners already there.
Do you know
That
what
team
happens?
that's just won the league.
Do you know what's quite funny with football? You know I think when you're in the moment.
And we were about to sign Cruz, and Moyes said no.
That's right. When you're in the moment and your
That's true?
tribalism
Wow.
is
No, that is true. I've
never
Tony
heard of
Cruz,
that.
Tony
That's
Cruz
crazy.
was going.
Well, I heard about the
Yeah.
rumours linked to
No, that was happening.
Fabregas and all that.
But when you're being as tribal as possible about football. So when Mourinho left Chelsea, I was gutted. We sacked him in 2007 after a 1-1 draw with Rosenborg. Completely irrelevant draw. We drew 1-0 in the group with Rosenborg. Didn't matter. And they sacked him. And you're just like, wait, Abramovich, what the hell are you what are you doing? You just won 2 leagues. We're off the back of retaining a league. This league's going a little bit wrong. And Rosenborg have drawn 1-1 and suddenly he's sacked. You're like, okay, that's insane. Obviously, when he left Chelsea, I was heartbroken. He then came back to Chelsea in 10 with Inter. They beat us on the way to winning it. And I remember going over to the San Siro and it was so Mourinho-like, like the performance and whatever. It was like Eto'o scored at Stamford Bridge, actually, for them. And I think Kalou scored for us away from home. And it was so Mourinho. I found him so frustrating. I loved him, but I was so frustrated by his tactics and the way that the team were lining up and just everything, the gamesmanship from Mourinho. I was like, God, he's driving me mad. And then he didn't go to Manchester United. And I was really happy. And I suppose on some level, I still am happy that he didn't go to Manchester United then, because Manchester United would have won silverware or whatever. But do you know what's also a shame? Football is it's about timing and it's a beautiful institution, isn't it? And I think it's also a shame that we didn't get the Goliath club that is Manchester United with the behemoth manager that was Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, 100%.
At the same time. In a boxing sense, it's a shame that Anthony Joshua didn't fight Tyson Fury 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a shame
And they're
because
both
that moment has
undefeated.
gone. It can never happen
You know
again.
the fact that United eventually went to Mourinho? Because at that time it doesn't fit in with our philosophies, our way of thinking.
And it was Bobby
our way of
Charlton didn't
life.
want it, did he?
So Bobby Charlton and a few others kind of stepped in and went.
Bobby
This ain't
Charlton
us.
said, over my dead body.
And then the fact that we eventually appointed him kind of shows you how like we just got
Desperate.
lost
Yeah,
amongst chasing these trophies and whatever we thought of ourselves to be. All right, we want to develop. Like we just got lost in the source.
You tried to
We just
do
got lost chasing
effectively.
trophies.
You did it, and it worked for you to a degree. But it's what Tottenham did. Tottenham parked or kind of at least suspended their principle and their philosophy on football and life to chase the quick win with Jose Mourinho. Like Jose Mourinho, even in his pomp, I would argue could be the Manchester United manager. Mourinho 2010 could be the Manchester United manager. I think it works. Mourinho was never a Tottenham manager.
No.
Like it just wasn't. It just wasn't who he was. Yeah. It would be like Sarri. Maurizio Sarri was never a Chelsea manager.
It is half time. It is 0-0 between Everton and Arsenal. We've picked an absolute world-class game to tune into today. There was a lot of action in the first half, though. A controversial disallowed goal, or at least we thought it was controversial. You guys that voted seemed to overwhelmingly vote that it was the right decision. We are sponsored by Super 6, as you can see right here. Download the Super 6 app on your phones, all good app stores, Play Store, whatever you want to call it. It's free to play. Download the app, sign up, join our league. The code is Club 23. Join over 10,000 OGs that are in the Club 23 mini league, and we'll have plenty of giveaways every single week. This week, whoever finishes top of our league, we give them a £100 classic football shirts voucher, and you could also win £250,000 all just by predicting 6 scores every single round. It's so easy. It's so fun to play. We're loving getting involved, although I've got pretty much every fixture wrong this week. And listen to this. Probably unlikely because there were 0 goals in the first half, but you never know. One person is holding out for 4-1 to Arsenal, which could still happen.
And if that happens, how close are they? Is that
They've
it?
won.
That's it.
They've won. It's the last game of the round,
So
isn't
they
it?
need a 4-1
They
Arsenal
need 5 goals in 45 minutes.
Which at Goodison Park,
They need- they need-
anything could happen.
You never know.
It's the one goal from Everton they should be worried about.
Yeah.
How are you going to get that? How are you going to get that? To be fair to Beto, though, he has looked
You
like
like this
a
better
handful.
guy,
Yeah, he said his name a lot.
Yeah, he's no good, mate.
He looks like a handful. Maybe it's a bit of the Wout Weghorst kind of.
What
You know
about
the
him?
Wout Weghorst thing where United had
What does
no
a handful mean in terms of a pure description?
And then we
What does
put
a
him
handful
there,
mean?
And for a few games we went, wow, Wout Weghorst.
He's on the
amazing,
pitch.
because he was
If
running
you're on
around.
the pitch, you're a handful. Is that
How
what
many
it is?
points have you got in Super 6 this week?
I've got 8 points.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm doing really well.
Wow.
I predicted a Bournemouth win. That's the only thing that let me down. I predicted a massive.
I was so unlucky.
4-0
So
Brighton
many
win.
of my results. So I said that Manchester City would win 3. I said they win 3-0.
Yeah.
And obviously they won 3-1. So I was really unlucky there. I said that Tottenham would win 2-0, and obviously they won 2-1. So I was really unlucky there. I could massively do with. Oh, he's off. I'm in the middle of talking to him. He's gone. Guys, wow. I was doing my best there. Cheers, Buvey. He literally got up while I was mid sentence.
You can carry on talking to me. I was listening.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so I've got 4 points, but if Arsenal win this game 2-1, I'm then live. I'm back.
I've had a shocker this week, and I've still got more points than you. I've got 6 points at the moment. I predicted a 2 draw between West Ham and Man City. My reason for that was I thought everyone's going to predict City to win, so I could really jump up this league table if West Ham do. But now I've just fell behind everyone even further, which is incredible. I predicted United to win, which kind of have to do legally, don't I? I can't predict us not to win. I thought Sheffield United would get beaten a bit more comfortably by Spurs. Obviously, it was tight. So I got 2 points there. I got 2 points for Chelsea's draw.
That's where you got your additional.
I got 2 points for that Newcastle game. And if Arsenal win, I'll get another 2 points as well. I predicted them to win 3-1.
I need a 2-1 win. I need Arsenal to win this game 2-1 for my Super 6, but I need Everton to win the game 10-0 for my sanity.
Yeah, which one would you rather?
Everton.
No, we really do take Super 6 seriously. He didn't mean that. He wants Arsenal to win. Now, guys, get joining our Super 6. The code is Club23. Make sure you're downloading the app. Absolutely adoring playing that game right now.
It's a great
the players
game.
are back out. Arsenal's team back out. It looks like the same 11, so no changes from Arsenal. Haven't seen the Everton players, but I'm assuming they're still in the tunnel. That's nice, isn't it?
Do you think this is a bit of? Mind games?
No.
Just loiter in the tunnel. Just make it that little bit more awkward.
I think it may be a thing where the manager goes, we all walk out together, so then the
Who
captain
did
just has
that?
to wait.
There
for
was
everyone.
somebody that would always do that. It wasn't Mourinho, was it? Who would make sure that who would keep the opposition waiting?
Mourinho.
It was Mourinho.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, he just let the other team like go out
And
there
it
for 2 or 3
used to
more
be like where Drogba would just come out late
yeah,
on his own.
Yeah.
So everyone's out there.
Yeah.
And then it's like Drogba just
Drogba
walking
just
around,
comes
like
out
tying
doing
his shorts about
shorts,
10 minutes later.
yeah.
Like that used to happen a few times. Mourinho used to love that kind of stuff. He used to also stay in the tunnel and shake all his players' hands. Like he wouldn't leave the tunnel till everyone had gone out, innit? You know when it's good with Mourinho? Like, you had it the best, I know, but when it's good, it's so good. And when it's bad, it's so bad.
Mourinho is Chelsea's best ever manager. Like there's no two ways about it. I mean, there's been some, we've had some icons in the dugout. There's no two ways about it. We've had Carlo Ancelotti.
Well done, Booth.
I reckon just walk across, mate.
No one's seen
I reckon just walk. There's no point
Slag
in.
me off when I do that.
No, but there's
The
no
game's
point in
kicked off,
stooping.
and we've got a super
It's hard
chat.
for me, I've got a bad
Super
back.
chat.
How's
Gotta read
your
it. What's
lukewarm-
worse?
No, it's actually kept it pretty cold. Look.
What's
Look,
worse?
look at that.
Oh, you.
That's not too
Jackson's
bad.
finish or Rory's phone case?
Well, Jackson's finished because there's nothing wrong with this. Practical. It does exactly what. Watch this skill as well. Boom. Wait, you didn't hear the sound effect. Hello? Okay, bye, Mum. Watch this. Wait, now listen.
They are flying off the shelves on Amazon right now.
There's a lot of stickless. It's
It
really,
does get a lot.
really helps.
It's-
Okay,
that's-
why do you get a new one?
I
It's
don't
like
want a
something
new
falling
one, 'cause
apart.
You know,
Because it
you know how
works
much
well.
money this fella makes, yeah.
It works well.
And he's got the first iPhone that ever came out.
I haven't got the first one. I've got the 8th.
Right across the box, Saka! Oh, great block by number 32.
I have the 8th one. Do you know what, though? I did hear on one of the radio stations they were trying to give away a phone.
Odegaard! Great save by Ramsdale. Fabio Vieira over the bar.
Bannery.
Odegaard there cutting in on the 18-yard box and having a crack. You all right? You all right?
Yeah.
What are you sharing?
I've got a question for you, lads. Can I ask you both a question? Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
Occasionally. No,
Yeah.
occasionally,
What,
yeah.
Caesar
Why?
and that?
It's interesting.
Why?
I like history.
Yeah. Have you seen the trend on TikTok?
Oh, no.
So girlfriends are asking their boyfriends on TikTok, "Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?" And every guy is saying yes. Every single guy is saying it's a
Is
mega
that
trend,
because we all, like...
and everyone's trying
I
to
said
debate
yes,
why.
but I haven't thought about it in many
Yeah.
years. But
'Cause
do you think it's because it makes us seem clever?
So, yes, it's like you just say yes, don't you? Do you ever think of? Do you often think about?
Ooh.
How often do you think about Pythagoras' film? Who, me? All the time.
Yeah, but the Roman Empire is more of a kind of it's an interesting.
No, I
one,
did
isn't it?
watch. There was a documentary on Netflix that I watched about it about 2 months ago.
Think about you in
I
a
do
toga.
like stuff like that.
You look good in a toga.
What, in the Greek? You're talking about the Greek Empire, not the Roman.
The
Empire.
Romans not like togas.
I thought that's more of a Greek thing, isn't it?
What's your lots of thoughts about people digging up pyramids and that, and like mummies and shit? There's one. There's like they go in tombs in Egypt. And
Yeah, that stuff's
Egypt.
crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You doing it?
No, not for me.
That's why I think some things go wrong with the world.
It was a trend in the Victorian era. They used to do that at house parties. So they used to get a load of people come round,
And ask
you know,
them
have
about
and
previous
unwrap a mummified body. It was like a trend in the elite of Victorian England.
and then they used
It
to,
was
what,
such
just
a
have a
trend. They used to just send random dead bodies, the Egyptians, that weren't even real mummified people.
And what? Just have a look at it.
Yeah,
Did
like
everyone
unwrap
get
it one at a
mummified
time.
back in the day.
Yeah,
Like, was that just?
I'm thinking of doing it.
Standard
I'm thinking
procedure.
of doing it.
Do you
but-
know if you know how I thought was a very nice way to go? The way that the Vikings used to do it. Do you know what they do?
on a boat?
They
and all
put
that?
you in a boat
Yeah.
and they push you out to sea.
Yeah.
And then as it's out, they
Yeah.
fire
But then
arrows of
imagine
flames
you get
into
seagulls and that shitting on you.
when
and
I
all
was watching the game
Now
yesterday,
it goes up in flames.
I was wishing I was on an Ocean Gate.
that. Ocean Gate. What's that?
Just
Titanic.
instant
Went
combustible
down to the
death.
You
Titanic,
want to
You
be
know,
on that? That's
they
a
died in
horrible
a
joke.
second.
That's a horrible joke from you. No, that's absolutely just. I think about them every day, so I don't know why you're saying that. That's grim from you.
Why you chuck me under the bus?
I want to be
Why you chuck me
mummified.
under the submarine?
You know, you can see. I want to be mummified, so you
Can
can
we-
see
can
me
we
in a
do it?
museum.
Yeah, I think we
The
should.
History of Football Museum in Manchester. I'll be in that. Would you come up and see me, lad?
Do you think
They'd
that
have to do your
hey, mate,
pyramid
do you
like
think
that because of
do
your
you
big
think that
head.
we could,
Your pyramid would have to
mate,
go.
could we do
big head at the top.
it sits on a point.
So you would you come and see me, lads? Or
Do you
not?
think that you know how
I would.
you know how like in the museum at Wembley they've got like the crossbar that Jeff Hurst hit, right? Do you think that there could be like a thing of us or like our
YouTube
table?
museum.
Yeah, like a YouTube Football YouTube.
Like that will be in it.
Or
Yeah,
just
that-
the whole,
that'll
just
be
the
in
desk,
it.
the club
The
desk.
chair that you sat in when Chelsea lost 0-0, drew 0-0
Andy
to
Tate will be
Bournemouth.
there.
Andy Tate.
Yeah.
Any
No,
other
not
big,
him.
Any other
The
big
proper
names in
Andy.
the
Can't have
industry?
him.
No, the proper Andy Tate.
Oh, yeah.
Andy
Moise.
Tate, the Moisey one.
Yeah, yeah.
We're talking about Andrew Tate. We're talking about football. Never heard of Andy
Oh!
Tate.
Zinchenko's had a shot there blocked by... You know the
What do
Everton
you give it back
defenders?
to him there for?
Everything the Everton defenders do, it's in a stressed manner, isn't it? It's like, oh, fuck.
The only one who does
Because
is
I've
actually
never-
young. The
because
only
you know
one who's
what?
got quality.
Because you know, I find it very funny because it doesn't happen so much anymore in football. But you know, some footballers, like their job is a footballer. They don't want to play football ever. Like they don't want the ball at their feet. Like you know when James Tarkowski has the ball at his feet, panicked,
Yeah.
panicked.
He's terrible. What's the drop off with him? He used to be an England kind of call-up kind of player, wasn't he?
Oh, you know what? We haven't spoken about that. What do you think about them aliens that got found in Mexico?
Yeah, that's
Do
crazy.
you think
man.
they're real? Mummified aliens? Talking about mummies.
No,
They said these aliens landed 1,000 years ago
they didn't.
and we buried them.
You don't think there's aliens ever?
Oh, yeah.
You believe there is?
Mate, grow
Has to
up.
be.
It's the
Well, it
Fermi,
has to
it's
be
the
alien.
Fermi paradox.
Do you know what I worry about? I worry about my football team being.
No.
Not
We
good.
didn't say worry.
I don't have time. So you know when you're like, do you think there's aliens? I'm like, I don't not think
But
there's
we're
aliens,
not
and I don't
worried.
think there are aliens
Yeah,
because
it's
I
not- it's
don't
not
think
fun-
about aliens
yeah, but-
because I have a life.
No, but
I have the
Yeah, but
actual
people
worries.
think about it as well.
no,
I can't
you've-
think about aliens because I have 100
I
other
refuse
things
to
think about.
believe you don't like cartoons.
I don't because I don't like cartoons.
You
I'm a
don't
man.
like computer games.
Of course, I don't like computer games. I'm a man.
Yeah, but you like The Sopranos. That's a fictional encounter. Those are
Based
actors
upon
with play
reality.
guns.
Yeah.
It's not based on reality.
Hang on.
Tony Soprano's not a real character.
No,
It's fiction.
No, obviously it's fiction.
He's a
but it's
guy with a fake
no, but
gun
it's a
running
real-
around
but
going
it's a
bang,
real
bang, bang.
person.
Oh, I'm really depressed
But
and all
it's
that.
a-
That's The
But
Sopranos.
it's a real person. It's not a
No,
cartoon.
it's fiction.
What?
Just like
It's not a
James
cartoon.
Bond. that is.
It's not a cartoon.
Bang, 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 I'm really depressed.
But for real, it's like.
Have you seen The Sopranos? No. It's not worth them watching it now. You spoiled it. Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. I'm really depressed.
But do you know what I mean? It's like that's fiction. That's fiction, lad.
No, but I don't. You can
No,
see.
but
You can see
aliens
the,
are real,
You can
man.
see the difference
think there's a
between.
world
You can
there
see
is,
the
yeah.
difference
Yeah.
between a cartoon and The Sopranos.
So you've never
yeah,
pondered.
but you said you don't like
You've
James
never
Bond.
pondered.
Of course, I don't watch James Bond.
Yeah, but that's the same as
James
The
Bond.
Sopranos.
James Bond
James
is for
Bond.
simple
Yeah, but James
minds.
Bond.
This is a man, by the way, that was in Doctor Who.
James Bond is for simple minds. It's like fireworks displays.
What about
Simple
Adele
minds.
did a
You know,
song
if you go
for-
and watch
Adele did a
fireworks,
song.
you're like, oh look, there's lights
Rory,
in the
did you?
sky.
You used to attend Doctor Who conventions, didn't it?
Yeah, good money, really good money. I got really good.
I know a few guys that were like kind of follow David Tennant around and all that, like proper. What do they call them?
Whovians.
Whovians. That's the one. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
I
what they
met a
called
guy
us.
who was like a proper like
What does Whovian mean?
It means you're a Doctor Who.
like proper
Oh,
Like you support- the way you support
Beehive,
Man United.
like for Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah. I always thought it was a new word that I'd never heard.
No. Yeah, they support Doctor Who.
like. Did they ever
they-
come
The
up to you in the
Doctor Who
street?
ultras.
Never in
No.
the street, but at
They
conventions.
can be a bit weird, can't they?
At
People have
conventions.
sent me pictures of your card.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
that.
well, I've got a good card, mate. And
Yeah.
Top Trumps, Doctor Who top Trumps, I was right up there. I was like, you know that rare one?
Very
I was
rare.
like Pikachu. You know that one that nobody can get and that has all the power? That was what my character was, like proper up.
That's because they didn't print
Do you
many
know?
out.
Do you know? No,
Fuck
do you
this
know?
guy.
Do you know? I'm Alex. I'm Alex. Like loves Doctor Who, and he like didn't have my card, or he did. I can't even remember what happened, but I had to get him a card anyway.
you
Gio had
got
it
it
as well. Gio actually had it.
Do you own one?
My nan has got a few.
I like that.
Yeah, my nan's got them.
You
up in
should
the house.
have a
If
few.
you come around my nan's flat, they're up.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. No, yeah. Because you've done like mental things in your life. Like, no, serious, man. I wish I was in EastEnders. No, serious. You know when that Asian family moved in and they opened up Masala Masood? Yeah. I wish I was there, bruv. I wish
You know.
me and Tamwa were brothers.
That was peaky Senders, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Grant came back for that one episode. They shoved his head down the toilet eating beer. That was
Do you know I
amazing.
haven't watched an episode of
really
EastEnders
wish
for
I
about
was in
15 years?
Yeah.
Nor have I.
I haven't watched
I
it.
used to be
Well,
well
do you know what
every
happened?
night.
Mate, when I was on Talk Sport, they have BBC up and it was on. Every character that I haven't watched in 15 years, I knew everyone in it.
Yeah, they brought
It's all
them
the
all
same
back,
people. It's all the same people. Sonia was there.
Sonia's back.
Sonia with her trumpet.
Sonia. Oh, yeah. Sonia's class. Sonia.
What do
Who
you
was
mean
her man?
class?
Martin
What,
Fowler.
Sonia?
Martin, remember him?
Yeah,
Martin.
James, his name was James Alexandru.
Yeah, because you know these people, don't you?
Vaguely, yeah.
Or like
I
no
would've-
other
yeah.
worked with.
What
I
about
would've
Stacey
worked.
Slater?
Yeah, she was in it when I was in it. She's a nice girl.
What's her name? Lacey what?
Turner.
How do I know that?
Lacey Turner. Yeah, nice girl.
God.
And of that,
Mate,
a lot of our audience
that was
won't know
peak
what EastEnders
British
is.
culture. When she
wasn't.
got with him in the
It
toilet of
really
the
wasn't.
Queen Vic, that was peak
No,
Max
British
Branning.
culture. Yeah, that was that.
EastEnders
Britain's
is
never been the same
culture.
since. Britain's
No.
never been the same
Culture.
since.
No.
We went downhill since then.
If
EastEnders
Arsenal,
is
if Arsenal
proper
don't win
British
this
culture.
game, yeah, do you see what I'm trying to do here? If Arsenal don't win this game, how significant is it
Has this
in
been
their
a-
quest for the title?
This has been a terrible game, isn't it? It's been awful.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
It's 0-0.
I've basically watched a lot of football today and I haven't seen one goal.
Yeah, it's awful.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've seen Chelsea and Bournemouth slug it out.
I saw City score a load against West Ham. Beautiful. Doku on fire.
Have you won the league already?
I'm a bit worried about that for everyone else because obviously, I think
No,
the league
you're
needs
not.
competition.
No, you're not.
Well, obviously, do I want to see City
I'm
win
worried
10 in a
about
row,
you.
4 in a row, whatever it is, of course. But you don't want to see Liverpool losing like they're in a losing position against Wolves and Arsenal not winning this game. You want to see a bit of,
Outside of the draw against Fulham, Arsenal have had a good start to the season. Liverpool have had a good start to the season, so it doesn't.
I mean, you say outside.
Those are the two teams we thought would.
Mate, you say outside the draw against Fulham. Drawing at home to Fulham is just unacceptable to win the league
Yeah,
in the modern era.
Yeah.
City will drop points somewhere.
Yeah, they will. But the problem is,
we got Forest.
they can.
We got Forest
You've given
next.
them the opportunity, but
Yeah,
they,
no,
It's the best start Guardiola's ever had at City in the Premier League.
is it?
We just won a treble.
Ominous,
Do you know what I mean? I'm not. You're right in your appraisal, but it's like Haaland's not even on. Haaland's not doing anything. He just
Liverpool as
scored
well. We haven't
yesterday.
spoke about Liverpool today. Like, I obviously hate them, but watching them perform at the moment, they're getting every game. There seems to be a moment where, they should have lost that game. They could have lost that game, and they're just grinding these results out.
That's true. Yeah.
While the team still isn't, like the midfield hasn't settled yet. That's a great clearance off the line by the defender. Who was that?
Trossard smashed it
Mikolenko, I
across.
think. Is that his name?
Mikolenko, yeah.
Vieira had a chance there.
Trossard
Is
on?
he on? Would he have been offside there?
Might have been on someone over the far side. It's a great, good defending because you know what?
I don't
You
think
shit
that's good
yourself
defending
there.
at all, I think you have to clear that, not
If you
into
shit
the penalty
yourself,
area.
that goes in.
I think you have to clear that up and out, not backheel it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, his body shape was
Yeah.
wrong.
If-
If he
Himself,
backheels
yeah.
that straight into the path of an oncoming midfielder who
Yeah.
lashes it in, you're going,
You got
what a
lucky.
clown.
I think when you're running towards your goal and you're under the crossbar.
Do you know who was
It's very
amazing at
easy to
doing that?
just-
Do you know who was amazing at doing that? Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole could slide in
Yeah,
and clear it over his own bar with when it was harder to.
there was a clearance
To get it over
by
the score.
John Terry in extra time in 08.
Oh yeah.
Mate.
Mate, he did it against Tottenham
was
as well.
so-
We drew
he was kind
four-
of running backwards and he just flicked
Yeah.
it over the bar. And it's such a
Mate, the one that John Terry, for a clearance, I couldn't believe it. We drew 4-4 at White Hart Lane. Joe Cole had the game of his life. It was a brilliant performance from him. I think Robbie Keane and Berbatov played really well for them. Dimitar Berbatov in the last kick at 4-4 goes round the keeper and slots it in. John Terry, the ball's rolling that way and it's going in. John Terry sort of slides across and gets in the way and it hits his back and goes over the bar. It's like, how have you done that? Yeah,
That's getting beat up today.
Yeah. Do you think there's half an hour left? Do you think Everton are yet thinking, okay, let's defend for
That was the start of the game.
No, but with absolutely no ambition to win the game now.
They'll still try and hit someone on the break. That's going to be their game plan. But yeah, it will be. We're happy.
Point. Yeah.
It's been a terrible game.
Terrible.
It's an hour in. I
No,
thought
but
we
you
just
got-
started.
You got to see where Everton are at the moment.
Oh, he's got to do it.
Oh, he's fucking.
You got to see
useless,
where
isn't
Everton are at the moment.
he? You just said a minute
playing
ago. You
against-
said Eddie Nketiah needs to be playing for England. This guy's fucking
No.
rubbish. Man.
Nketiah's good, man.
No.
He's
I
good,
said,
mate.
Well, what does good mean?
I said Gareth Southgate had a
Top
chance
level.
to give him a chance in a friendly against Scotland, which
Yeah.
also then makes Nketiah think I'm wanted by England.
I don't
He can still get swayed, go elsewhere.
I rate Nketiah.
If we're starting Nketiah
Mate, he
in the
scores
next
goals
5
in
years,
the Premier League. I think we have to.
I know, I agree.
We have to start
He's the
crediting
best,
that. Like,
he's the best player that you
he's a
can
young
possibly
kid that
have
scores
to play the
goals.
role that he plays at Arsenal. You're not going to get a better striker. To
we
sit on the
say that
bench.
in the context of him being a sub. Usually,
Yeah.
but bruv, what's
No,
wrong
that's
with
what I'm
that?
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
He's a young boy.
Yeah. I'm not slagging him
No,
off.
I don't think he's good enough to start, but I think he's good enough to be
That's
the
the
position.
context I'm saying.
But
I
if
think
he's scoring
he's not
goals
better
off
than
the
Jesus.
bench now,
Yeah.
he could become a leading
I don't think he
striker
will
for
be.
them. You never know.
No, I don't think.
I don't
He
think
never will
physically
be.
he's the finished
Mate.
article. He'll
He's not good enough
Hang
finisher.
on, I think he's a brilliant player for the role that he plays. I think it'd be very difficult to get a better player to play the role that
I
he
agree
plays.
with that.
But
And
I
I'm
don't
not
think.
saying
I don't
he
think he. I think.
definitely will become Arsenal's
Yeah.
main striker. But what I'm saying is There's a lot of room for
you know
improvement.
when Arsenal
he's so
talk-
young, he's going to get given the opportunity.
You know when Arsenal fans talk and you hear them say that maybe they need to replenish their squad in that position. I don't think you can get a better player than Nketiah to sit on the bench.
Who? And
Jesus
having
has to sit on the
having
bench,
one of
because I
three
think
strikers is
No, but Jesus
They
doesn't
need
sit
an
on the bench.
Osman with Jesus on the bench if they want to be top. Look, we're talking about
Jesus is
Arsenal
a
in the
starter.
context of them winning the Premier League, so they have to take over City.
Don't you think
They're not
Jesus
going to
is
start
a
with
starter?
Arsenal claiming handball.
not for what they want to achieve, in my opinion.
What? So Jesus isn't good enough to lead the line for a team that
At
wins
the
league?
moment, if Jesus is fit, of course he starts for Arsenal. Long term, if they want to be winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, neither are good enough, in my opinion.
Even Jesus.
As a proper finisher,
Wait,
as a
that's-
lethal finisher.
Not handball, is it? Or is it?
No, it's
hit
not
his
handball,
arm,
man.
but his arm's here.
Yeah, but it's in the silhouette of his body and it's going 1,000 miles an
He's
hour because
also
it's a rocket.
One of
be
his
a-
arms was in the box, and the arm it's hit.
That's
down
not a
the side
foul,
of the box.
man.
His arm was here.
You have arms as a footballer. Like you have to have them somewhere. You can't.
Clip that.
Like what can you do? As footballers have arms. There are arms on footballers.
Breaking
I agree.
news.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what you can do. I hate that as well. You know that weird.
It's annoying when you have
Yeah.
to go like that.
'Cause it makes you worse
The old-
at defending.
Ricardo Carvalho,
Ivanovic was good at that.
Ivanovic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
He was some player. Love him in this team.
good header.
Arsenal, are you know, I can't talk. United are shit at the moment. But you know what? I didn't expect Arsenal seem to be rushing everything at the moment. You know, like when he gets
I
to
think they're a bit
Zinchenko, he's
panicked.
cracking it.
They're worried
It's like,
about City.
You
I'm
got
really
30
thinking
minutes
that.
to go, bro.
I think that stems from the manager, though. You know how
it's so
Mikel
erratic.
Arteta is so emotional.
Yeah.
Look at that distribution from Pickford. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's
He's
Peter
just thrown
Schmeichel. It's
that.
Peter Schmeichel, isn't it? You know,
Incredible.
Peter Schmeichel used to do that to Kanchelskis. Just like launch it.
And shout at him
Look,
at the same time.
Pickford's literally
Uh,
started an Everton attack. That's incredible from Pickford.
Yeah, it should have started an attack. It hasn't, but you're right.
But you know, it's got
No,
them up the pitch.
you're right. He done his
Yeah.
bit. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
crap.
It's crazy.
What player from back in the day do you think was mint and never quite made it, but would be class nowadays? Like in this new era of football. You know, like for
Yeah.
example, Fabian Barthez came to United.
Yeah,
He's
he'd
not
be
my-
great now.
He'd be
wouldn't
great
he?
now,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
playing with the ball at his feet.
Was he good with his feet?
Yeah,
was
he
I
was
can't
really
remember.
Oh, I know who'd be fantastic. Dan Petrescu as a wing back nowadays.
Ooh.
Dan Petrescu would be playing for Guardiola.
Yeah.
He would. He'd be playing for Guardiola, wouldn't he?
Dennis Irwin's another one.
Yeah.
You know, getting forward,
Clancy.
full back, wing back.
You know those kind of
Imagine
players.
him for Guardiola.
No, but he wouldn't be, would he? Because he was too free spirited.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the technical kind of side
Yeah.
of his ability. He was probably a little bit too
You know who-
small back
Too
then.
free spirited as
Michael
well.
Carrick.
Carrick nowadays.
He's probably
Yeah.
not as old school as I was thinking,
Yeah.
but he'd be
Yeah.
adored right now.
Yeah. I think any player. Do you think players nowadays, you know, those kind of more Maverick players like Merson, Letitia, you know, where they were just so good on the ball, but they didn't necessarily do the pressing or they didn't track back? Or do they make it now?
But they weren't really asked to back then, were they?
No.
And I also think nowadays they would have the benefit of, first of all, you'd be paid a lot more money. You'd have better, pitches, better training
Yeah.
facilities. So that should squeeze more out of you
Yeah,
as a
maybe.
result, right? And
Yeah.
if you're coached by these coaches that are asking you to press, you become
You
a
become
better
that,
player
yeah.
at doing those things.
Yeah. Do you think you know when you get these like shining stars really young? So like Wayne Rooney, say.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Wayne Rooney was brilliant at 8?
Yeah.
So do you reckon when he was 8 years old at school, he was just like
Obviously,
than 12 years
Wayne
old,
Rooney's
yeah.
one of the greatest footballers that
Yeah,
Britain's
no, so
ever
he's a
produced.
he's a
But
great.
like, you know,
example
Jan,
for it.
for example, that is now playing at Ross County.
mate?
Yeah, he was at Liverpool, West Brom, etc. He's now at Ross County, SPL. He trained with us when he was 10 once, 11, with our first team, which was like 18, 19, 20. Tore everyone up, bro.
At that age.
Yeah, it's just,
Right.
obviously you don't really want to hurt him, but
Yeah.
still you can't get near him.
Can't do it anyway.
Like, professional footballers,
No, but is
are
it from
just-
that age though?
yeah. You know, they know.
Yeah, yeah.
From a
So,
very young
so
age,
Wayne
they know.
Rooney at 12
Yeah.
was.
If not
I
younger.
imagine all
Yeah.
players have different paths, but
Yeah.
you would have seen Rooney at 10 and gone, Jesus Christ, is he 16?
He's going to be a professional.
Like,
footballer.
Yeah, 100%.
Must be amazing to witness that.
Mm.
You know, to just watch a 10-year-old ripping it up.
Like we all said, yeah,
I've
Jan's
never
gonna
seen
make it.
yeah.
And will be professional. Like,
Yeah,
there's,
yeah.
there's no way he can't
Yeah.
not be. And then you look at, all right, I'd love to be playing professional football for Scotland, but it's like in Scotland, but it's like,
Yeah. What's his name? Jan Dander.
yeah, but like comparison to the Premier League and that,
Yeah. So is he
And
from around
he-
your way? Is he
yeah,
Birmingham?
it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
For professional footballers to do things that, and you know what's mad? It's like, you know, Tarkowski here, take him to goals with us, and he'd look like
Yeah,
fucking Ronaldinho, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be nothing you'll be able to do.
Ashley Young whipping it in for Everton. 63
Mate, if
minutes.
Everton
on the
go
board.
1-0 up now, this would be a total disaster for Arsenal because I don't think that they would. I think Everton would just shut up shop, wouldn't they?
Oh,
I hate those floaty
Diving.
free kicks.
oh right, yeah.
I like a whipped on free kick.
Yeah, because then anything can happen.
Yeah.
Hard angle.
When it's
though.
floated as well, unless you get it bob on.
Yeah. Also, if it's floated, it's got to be a second ball anyway.
And you know what I hate when it's floated? The attackers jump up too early.
Yeah.
So then they meet the ball, but they're already above the
Yeah.
crossbar.
Unless they can hang brilliantly.
Yeah, like Ronaldo.
Les Ferdinand.
Do you remember that game at Goodison Park when Martin O'Neill said Ashley Young was better than Ronaldo
Yeah.
and Messi? Or as good as Ronaldo and Messi,
Yeah.
sorry. It was like 4-3.
Yeah.
Nuts game that was.
It's mad they signed him. I mean, Jesus. What's he, 37,
That's
38 years
That's
old?
what I'm saying though. Like, you know, when we criticise Sean Dyche, you got to think of the circumstances that he's come into.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not
What's
easy.
going on here?
Someone's down for Everton. Have you got any super chats? I've not seen many super chats on the stream.
You got to read it.
Yeah, I've not seen many. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Would really appreciate it. We've got a shout out to Super 6 as well, sponsoring the show. If you haven't already joined, it's Club 23 on the Super 6 app. And currently, there's someone waiting for a 4-1 Arsenal win to win £250,000.
Still time.
There's still
25
time,
minutes.
technically.
Just taking Nketiah off for Gabriel Jesus. What do you think of Gabriel Jesus? Like, when he first arrived at Arsenal, there's a lot of fanfare about it. Obviously, he suffered injuries. But did he suffer a lot of injuries at City? Was that always an issue for
He
him?
was quite present for us. Yeah, he had a good availability for City. It's a hard one for. Does he improve Arsenal's front line? 1,000,000%. Yeah. Has he got Champions League experience? He's a 1-2, 1-3 in the Champions League games for City. Massive, massive goals at the Bernabeu, etc. So that's brilliant for Arsenal. But for Arsenal's standard to win the Premier League, hopefully in the next couple of years, is he going to be a number 9 for them to do that and score 25, 30 goals in the same world as Erling Haaland? In the same world as maybe a Højlund for Man United, if that comes good? I don't think he is. That's
You
the
could
issue.
argue, and last season, obviously, he had injuries again. You kind of have to say that, but availability is part of being a good player. He had a team where you have 3 players that are kind of contributing to the goals. Does that not help him out because he contributes so much more than effort over the bar from Danjuma? You know what I mean? Like, because he contributes so much elsewhere, and others kind of pick up the slack for goals as well. Doesn't that?
Yeah, that makes for a nice squad balance. That makes for a nice top 4 European side to actually be ruthless and to win the Premier League. We're talking about the Drogbas of the world, the Rooneys of the world, the Shearers, Agueros. He isn't that. And maybe Arsenal can find a way where they all score 15, 20 each across the front 3. But if you're through on goal and you're backing Jesus to win a big game against a Chelsea, against a Man United, in desperate points to win the Premier League, I don't think he's that kind of guy, unfortunately. But I love him as a City fan. And there's a world where he gets shifted onto the left or the right, maybe, as a squad player, and then they sign a top striker. I think that's where they have to go. But obviously, it costs a lot of money. I mean, they should have tried to break the bank to sign Osimhen. Now, I know a lot of Arsenal fans will think that's not reasonable, but someone like that, they need a real.
Was that goal scorer needed more than Declan Rice?
No, Declan Rice was more important, I think, for the long-term kind of midfield options for Arsenal.
Because that's
but
what the choice would have
next
been.
summer is looking at, can Osimhen get shifted out of Napoli? It might be very difficult. Someone like that,
What's his corner routine?
Don't know.
I thought he was going to whip it with him just stood there. Okay, I get it.
Arsenal
Taking
gone
a
short with the
one
corner.
into the box.
This looks like a
Collected
0-0.
by-
This looks like a 0-0, lads.
He's gone very early. There's still a quarter of the game to go. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on as well. We were questioning whether Everton would go for it. He's obviously come on for Beto, so like-for-like replacement. You got Danjuma on there, Dwight McNeil. There's still attackers there for Everton if they can get counter-attack. But Arsenal attacking here with Saka. Saka's beat his defender.
He's
but
been quiet today.
Onana's come across and helped out.
I like Onana, Decore, Pickford. They got a good spine there. I refuse to believe they're as bad as Luton.
No.
Sheffield United.
They should be staying up. But I also think we need to kind of look at their squad when criticising Sean Dyche. It's not a great.
It's not great, but is it 15th, 14th? Yeah, about
15th
that.
to 10th.
Yeah,
at
definitely.
best. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Which is good for Everton.
That's
they'd
where they
snap
got to
your hands
be.
off for 15th now.
Yeah, they'd sell a kidney in Liverpool for that position.
I think Rory's gone to sit back in that dark room again.
This is the most boring game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, bust me.
And he's just watched Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, that wasn't boring though.
That was exciting of you. Oh,
It's not 0-0.
Oh, no.
You absolutely jinxed it. Trossard has scored 1-0. Fantastic goal, it looked like.
great finish.
Your man
Trossard,
Trossard, Buvey.
He's been saying whole game better was a handful. Got substituted at 60.
Trossard, mate.
Look at this geezer.
Geezer.
He's loving it, mate.
I didn't see the start of that. I just seen it leave his
Oh,
foot.
Trossard's in my fantasy.
Mate, you don't rate him. Don't
He's in
try
your
and jump on
fantasy.
it now. Don't try and
Did I
jump on
take
it
him
now.
out? No.
No.
I've always backed him at Brighton.
No,
etc.
no.
No, I backed him, mate.
No, you can't do that.
Cut back from Saka. First
Wow.
time finished.
I see.
Did he
I
try
have-
to get it crossed?
I have never
Cross it?
seen McKola and Maverick do that, and their careers are so interchangeable. Like, you know, if Arsenal had signed
that's a shot,
McKola and
mate,
Maverick, that is a.
Yes,
That is a
that's
shot.
instinctive.
I
Yeah.
wasn't- no, I wasn't sure
Absolutely.
first if he
That's
just
first
tried to.
I don't
No,
ever
that's
want
a
to see
shot.
Arsenal score goals,
Look at
but
this.
that is
Look at that.
absolutely sensational.
That's a
Good
great
finish.
finish.
Oh,
In off the post.
that is
Quality.
exquisite.
And you know what you can say for sure? This is an Arsenal win because Everton ain't scoring.
No,
It's
No,
halfy.
it's game over for
Here's the
Everton.
fun.
No.
We'll see you against Rotherham next
Mate,
season.
let's hope they get another 3 and Everton get 1 consolation. That geezer wins £250,000.
Oh yeah, 3 goals
Our
away
Super
now.
6 man.
Wow. It could still be on.
What does he need, really? How does he need? He needs Everton to score quickly.
Yeah,
And then Arsenal
blow them
burst
away.
into life, yeah. Or Arsenal go 2-0 up, Everton get 1 back.
A consolation.
And
after
then-
being 4-0 down.
Here we go.
Oh,
There we
Ramsey
go.
was in, Raya's out off his line. Oh,
That's better than...
It's fine.
I thought Ramsdale
Nothing
would have
wrong
missed
with
that. Do you know what I mean?
I love how you're predicting what he would have done in
Yeah,
that situation.
this is what Ramsdale would have done. It's a great game in life.
Horrible touch that.
These lot are getting relegated, aren't they?
It's the grand old...
The only thing that Sheffield United, Burnley have got is a bit of momentum getting promoted. It's a bit of a free
The
swing.
momentum's finished, mate.
Do you think it's over already for Burnley and all that? Wow.
No, I don't think I don't think it's over
They
for them.
play
I
us
just
not
think
next
over,
week.
but you know.
I just think that the momentum.
beat you.
They got 3 points coming.
They'll burst back into life next week. Yeah, mate. Do you think teams have started to look at our clubs? You know, back in the day, you'd look for a fixture and you go, when are we playing Tottenham? We need to have a bit of a win. We need a bit of a momentum jump. Do you think people look at Chelsea now? When are we playing Chelsea? We need a big win. Chelsea feel like a big win. When are we playing them? When are we playing Manchester United?
Yeah. It's 3
I
point.
think people think that more about you than us.
It's 3 point traffic.
Mm.
No. It's the same. Mate, don't be
Especially us away
disrespectful.
from home.
You're next to them in the league. Don't be disrespectful.
But that was
3-1
our
in the league.
first defeat at home
They're above you in the league.
since Brighton did it last season.
Wait, what?
So yeah,
Chelsea are above you in the league.
they're not.
They just got a point.
Yeah,
You just lost.
They've only won 1 game.
You're neck and neck in the league. You're neck and neck
We're
in the
next
league.
door to each other.
You're next door to
We're
each other.
1
so you-
point clear of
it's,
Chelsea.
it's 3 point Man United for me at Old Toilet. That's what I say. 3 point United.
Oh God. Oh, I've never heard a person say that out loud. You know?
I saw it on Twitter. I
I've
was
never
laughing my head
heard
off.
that.
I saw it on Twitter last night. I
That's
was
the level-
screaming.
That's the level of banter
Old toilet,
we're
mate.
dealing with here.
Did you just say I was creaming?
Yeah, I was laughing.
Creaming.
He went creasing, but he said creaming.
No,
Pardon?
what do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
I was
No.
laughing. I was laughing.
You mean creasing?
Yeah, creasing. That's what I said.
No.
You said creaming.
Oh, fuck you know. It's been a long stream. I've just watched 2 boring games.
We'll be watching 1 game on the stream.
Yeah, but I watched Chelsea before
No one
that, so I
told
was
you
on
to
time unlike
harm
you.
yourself like
What?
that.
Well, I was on time unlike you, so I was watching the game before.
I mean,
Cool time.
was I here when we started? Yeah.
Well, the cool time you missed it technically, but I don't care.
But I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't mind. It's the producer that minds.
It's not my fault
Shout
you
out,
hang
Jack.
around the office all week.
Like Ricky Gervais when he got sacked. Be nice if you cool ahead.
I like the office. It's a nice little office that we got in.
It was just.
You
it's
got your
just,
fob
it's
yet?
just a little.
No fob.
The
No.
problem with it is, it's just a little bit like the Sahara Desert in
Yeah,
terms
no
of like,
water.
I'm parched.
Yeah, yeah.
I am parched.
It is. Yeah, we feel that. You know that scene in the In-Betweeners movie when they're lying on the floor.
Mm.
When I get home, I'm going to do the old dentist chair. I'm going to be gazzing on the floor. I'm going to get my missus to stand above with a bucket of water, trying to rehydrate.
You see that guy from In-Betweeners saying that he did 40,000 cameos? Yeah,
No.
Jay from In-Betweeners.
Oh, your cameo those.
It went viral this week. He was like, "Oh, I've
How
done
much did you charge for
40,000
one?
cameos," and then someone did all the maths. It's like you had to do 30 cameos a day for the last 10 years or something. It's just you're just completely gassing.
How much?
But he claimed to make £1 million on cameo.
Just 25 quid a pop.
40.
40 quid a pop.
Yeah.
Jeez.
If you want Jay to say something to you on cameo.
And you know what? He would have been
So-
saying that, obviously, it's a blessing to be one of those characters and to have such an iconic show, but it must also be like grind. You get, people, boss wanker at you every day, or like just
that'd be like
coming
the
up to you,
Haaland
like-
thing for you. That'd be your thing, like Haaland.
It happens.
Would you go on Cameo and say
It happens. Say, this is disrespectful to the establishment.
you'd make you make so much money? I'm not even
Really?
Mate, you make so much money.
Why?
And you could do the Doctor Who ones.
Yeah,
You could do the EastEnders ones. Get your gun back out.
beat up Patrick Truman again.
Mate, honestly, I'm not even lying.
I don't think enough people would want me to say it's disrespectful.
I
to
think
the
you'd sell
establishment.
100,000 of them.
No,
You would.
no, mate.
Yeah.
There aren't
It's
100,000.
Patrick's birthday. Can you shout out and say it's disrespectful to the establishment, please? You get 1 million of them. Trust me. You make so much money.
Okay, you organise it. I'll go hard.
I'll organise it.
Did you say that you auditioned for In Between Us?
Yeah, a lot. It was called Baggy Trousers at its pilot stage.
Imagine what character would it have been?
Jay.
Oh shit!
It was called. Yeah, it was called Baggy Trousers. I went quite a lot. I auditioned quite a lot for it. But
That means
everyone
you must
did.
have been quite close, right?
I mean, no.
on
not-
a short list.
I think I'm down to the. I don't know. Maybe they got 12 of us back for the final four. Could you rattle that a bit more, please, mate? It's helpful.
Did you ever like do any like screen tests with like some of the people that are in it?
No,
the thing that
no,
they do, innit?
no. My four didn't get chosen. So,
Oh, so it was
I
like-
think so. Yeah, nobody from my four. I'm like,
Do you remember who the other three were? Are there any notable faces in your four?
I'll tell you afterwards. Yeah, I will tell you afterwards. Yes,
Oh, God.
yes.
It's 1-0 to Arsenal here. 75 minutes gone. 15 minutes left for Everton to steal
Great
something from this
ball.
game. Can't see it happening, and
That's a great
Gabriel
touch
Jesus
as
is
well.
on and into the box.
See that
But the
touch there?
defender
But
has
isn't
got
that a bit of a foul?
little bit?
I think
But
it's a bit clumsy.
I don't think. I don't.
I don't
expect you
think
to get a
Gabriel
penalty.
Jesus had enough control
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't
ball.
think you get a penalty for it, but I think that it's a
He's
foul.
taken
as
the
well.
ball into the path of the defender. It's a really
No,
poor
he
touch from
hasn't.
Jesus.
He's taken the ball away from the defender, and the defender has
I think
effectively
his
blocked
touch is
his route.
far too far on the right. Oh,
What are you doing, you mop?
You know, if you know that you can shoot like that, you know, if you know that you've got like a wayward shot in you, and your team are chasing the game this late, don't do it.
but you
Yeah,
believe,
no.
don't
But I
you?
remember seeing John Obi Mikel shaping up for a shot, and you were just like, "No, mate, wait, lay it off to Lampard."
What scored like one goal in his entire career, wasn't it?
Scored a blinder against Derby.
Here you go. Here's your thing. Is this a
Look,
foul?
is this a foul?
That touch, you can't tell me that touch is that's
No.
a shocking.
No, I
touch.
don't expect you to get a penalty for it. It would be too soft to
It's
be
not
a
even
penalty.
a foul. It's
You know what I
nothing
think it
moment.
is Gabriel Jesus' momentum as well.
Mm.
Like his stop to try and change direction.
He's like
Yeah.
that. He's got a clunky touch. You know, a Rufus striker gets that under
To
control.
be fair, his first touch was very good. His first touch was very
What, to
good.
pull it out of the air?
Yeah.
They're in command, aren't they, Arsenal?
They are. But
mean,
while
they
it's
have been for
1-0,
the whole
while it's
game.
1-0, there's always jeopardy. As soon as
He's
this
on.
goes 2-0,
He's
it's
on.
over.
You got
He's on.
3-on-2 situation.
square
here.
that,
got
square
to
that.
get a shot.
Erdegaard's in. Great
Time,
save by
time,
Ramsdale.
time.
Fabio Vieira.
Oh,
Mate, you've got to score there. Didn't listen to
How
me. I
did I
said
score
time as
that?
well. I gave him the exact
Mikalenko,
ball he
blah, blah,
needs.
blah.
Very patchy beard, old Fabio.
yeah. Some dodgy beard.
Mate, Everton are wayward. Look at this defending. What shape is this?
Why are they chasing the game at 77 minutes?
Yeah, I agree. Do this at 87.
You got one chance, Everton.
Yeah,
One chance.
Yeah, if they score another one, it's over. So
Yeah,
just
so what's the point? Even then, just passing around. You've got to square that. Who shot? Was it Trossard? Didn't?
Trossard's first shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. And even Everton get rid of the stadium. I think you just, wow, losing all their identity, aren't they?
I think.
Will that still happen with the ownership?
Yeah,
Must be kind
I
of
think it
built
must
in.
be part of it. Yeah. The thing is, I think Goodison. I mean, they call it Woodison and all that, don't they? Like, it needs an uplift. It needs an upgrade badly. I don't think clubs should ever leave their ground. Like, I really don't. I'm never going to be okay with clubs leaving their ground. Everton and Goodison Park is like what it's all about.
I like Goodison Park.
Great. It's the best away day.
Class
It's
away,
best
yeah.
away day. It's the best
Unless
away day
you
in the
sat
league.
behind that thing,
It's
you're all right.
fine. You move. It's the best. It's the best away day in the league. Like, you will not get. You can make a real racket. You get 2 tiers. It's near like a good end. Like their end behind that goal is lively. It's just a great away day, Goodison. And it's a shame, they're going to go to a identical, same old boring stadium that everyone else has got. And then the most annoying thing of the lot is people go, God, isn't it good? Isn't it good? What? Because you can have somebody playing a concert there. You can get old Kelly Rowland playing. Who cares? Like, I hate
Kelly Rowland.
I hate it. I do. I find it so upsetting. You know, like these football stadiums.
That's where it's going, mate.
Like Manchester City should have never left Main Road. And do you know what? I was watching. I think it's called Familiar to Millions, right? It's Oasis playing Main Road. It's amazing. It's amazing. And they gave it all up for what? It's poxy Commonwealth ground or whatever. You know. Yeah, I think it's sad. But then the most annoying thing is you get people going, "Oh, isn't it beautiful? You know, Tottenham, isn't it lovely? Oh, it's wonderful cheese from there." Or whatever.
Pints,
Yeah, the new stadium does look.
pints.
No,
pour from the bottom.
it is an amazing stadium if you want, if you find beauty in that. So, like, you know, when I went to an NFL game and the stadium was that, I went to a stadium called the SoFi Stadium, and it was amazing, and I loved it. But there's no history in that game, so it's fine. So I can appreciate it for that. This stadium at Tottenham is like that. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It has so many wonderful features, but it doesn't have history. And the second that you remove the history from it, I think it's not really worth having.
That's interesting. You nearly went to Battersea.
Yeah,
Cool.
I didn't allow it.
Well, you're part of
I'm not even
the
joking.
part of the ground, aren't you?
Yeah, Chelsea will never play south of the river. We are not a south
Imagine
of the
that.
river club. We are not.
Who would
a
have been your?
thing is,
Who's the rivals then? Charlton or something? I mean,
No,
technically-
Because
Obviously, geographically, you're still Fulham,
still
but
Chelsea.
Battersea would have been.
No, it would have been Fulham.
I'm talking about south of the river. You would have been. What?
The thing is, Battersea is still
Palace.
very much a Chelsea area because it's south.
Yeah, it's just across the bridge.
river. Yeah. So it's still very much Chelsea area. Like if you live in Battersea, if you're from Battersea,
But the
you're a
bridges
Chelsea
around there aren't great, are they?
You're a Chelsea fan if you're from Battersea. Well, you've got Battersea Bridge.
Yeah, but didn't that go under construction? Was that the other
Yeah,
one?
it was under construction, but it's good down there. You know the way that they've done the power station. But Chelsea
Oh,
aren't
yeah,
south. Chelsea aren't a south of the river club. But then, mate, they were trying to move us everywhere. They tried to have us up towards Park Royal, which is like near Wormwood Scrubs and that QPR area. They tried to have us there. But no, the Say No CPO campaign,
How
which
did
was like
QPR get on
Chelsea
this
pitch.
weekend?
They got beat. They went 1-0 up and got beat. Yeah, the Say No our camp. You know, that's when it went sour with Abramovich for me. Like that's when I went off Abramovich, 2013. We had a vote, and he really tried to cheat us out of it. Like they were buying. You know, where you do a compulsory purchase of the pitch owner shares. Abramovich tried to like buy up all the shares and that, but we stood firm and we will not move. I would never support Chelsea if they moved that at Stamford Bridge. Genuinely.
That's amazing. I love the story of the pitch as well.
Yeah.
You know, the ashes and all that under.
Yeah, it was
it's
good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Pete, our best ever. What they call, King of Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
His ashes are under the penalty spot at the shed end.
Yeah.
That's atrocious by Calvert-Lewin there.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's hold-up play, not great. Saka here.
That's a good tackle. That was a good
foul,
tackle.
mate.
No, it was a good tackle.
He
That.
just got bodied. Saka just got bodied.
That
there.
was a good
foul,
tackle.
right?
No, they won the ball, man.
You can't shove someone in the back and then take the ball off them, can you? Isn't that like a mugging?
No. He took the ball. I think he's shoulder barging, but Saka
I
was
just saw him
moving
went
forward.
5 yards, bro.
So he
just
looked like he got
bodied.
pushed.
I didn't even think of it not being given as a foul.
No, that wasn't a foul. Saka accelerated. He didn't get pushed like that.
He
got barged
accelerated
and
because he didn't
Maybe
randomly
I've seen it wrong.
accelerate.
It looked to me like he was just shoved and the ball was taken off him. But maybe it was fair.
Oh, look at his stats: goals, shot conversion, chances,
20.
all 20th. Below Luton. Luton aren't even 20th.
-5 for XG.
You know, they
Is
got
that, can
Morris
it be
up front.
minus?
So the stats: 2
So
goals
basically-
scored, 3.4% shot conversion, and what was the?
XG. So basically, the stats are saying Everton, if they just didn't bother shooting, would be better
Get
than
her off.
bothering shooting. Not the ball sideways; it might float in because of the wind in Merseyside. The wind might help you. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Don't bother trying. That's what Opta's telling Everton. at the moment.
Mate, don't shoot because you'll miss.
That's
Whereas
embarrassing.
try and play a few passes, it might end up in the back of the net.
Oh Jesus!
If you don't shoot, you can't miss.
But I thought this from the whole game. Better. He's a handful at better. Honestly, he's a proper handful.
Yeah, you like him, don't you?
Yeah, he's top player.
This is one of the worst games I've seen this season. This is so
It's
boring.
right out there.
This has been the worst game I've seen.
That's
this
the
season.
only way Everton had a chance, though.
Yeah, they had to keep it.
I mean, the goal was
nasty.
spectacular. Beautiful goal. One of the best goals I've seen this season so far. That's it, though.
Look at this. Who's that?
Jimmy Garner.
Jimmy Garner.
Did well for them towards the back end of last season.
Yeah, he did actually.
He was when we
Sounds
sold
like a
him, it was a
footballer.
real surprise.
He really sounds like a
Yeah,
footballer.
yeah.
That name is destined to be a footballer. Jimmy Garner.
Sounds like an old school footballer.
Ronnie
He
stuttering.
should be in there with
Yeah. He
Nobby
played,
Stars and
yeah,
Jimmy
he played
Garner.
played for Preston North End in 1946. Yeah, Jimmy Garner.
6.5 minutes.
Pickford's delivery. This
Look
is why
at
he's England
this.
number
They're
one.
so crap. This
Look
is
at this.
Sean
Old
Dyche,
school
they're crap.
Everton. Pump the box. Come on.
Pump and
Second
dump.
ball. Second ball.
Oh, they kicked
He's
out.
again. He's won everything.
Oh.
He won his own header. He flicked it on for himself.
They
Only
needed
4% of
better
the
in the
Super
box.
Six
He's a
players
handful
did this.
better. They needed him in the box there.
That's a foul as well.
Oh, they're terrible.
Dreadful. Mate, they are.
Do you know what? Relegate these lot. For
Jack,
me, that's
I'm
my
not co-
opinion.
Jack, I don't want to do another Everton game. This is absolutely pointless. This is so bad. This is so bad.
Jack picked this day, you know. It's crazy.
Jack-
He moved the game for this, didn't he? He
Mick
moved the whole thing.
Hucknall.
Crazy.
Money too tight to mention. Unbelievable. Like, they are the worst team in the league, Everton. Like, they are.
Luton are right
No,
close.
but Luton are worth watching.
Just because they're a bit of
Because
bad.
they're interesting.
Yeah, the new.
They're interesting.
Yeah. It's been the same old for 4 or 5 years now.
No, wait, and the rest.
Sean Dyche.
No, they had a decent spell with Martinez, Coman.
Coleman.
They had Lukaku with Coman, scoring 20 odd goals a season.
Yeah, but they had like.
It wasn't as
4
bad as
games.
this under Coman. I refuse to believe that. I mean, Jesus. They were in Europe with Coman, weren't they?
No, it's been awful there. Apart from a brief spell with Ancelotti.
It's been awful there for years.
He'd have been a good defender now, Ronald Koeman. If he was playing,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
class.
if he was playing, because he was like
Didn't he
ball
score
player.
in the European Cup
scored
final?
against England, yeah, for Barcelona. Scored against
He's one of
England as well.
Barcelona's highest ever scorers, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's got like
Scored-
150
He
goals.
scored against England. We drew 2-2 at Wembley to qualify for the World Cup in '94, and he scored and we didn't make it.
Havertz clipped the cross to the back post. That nearly went in.
94.
See, that's what Everton
To
need
make
to
the
do.
World Cup in '94,
Yeah.
so the America World Cup, Holland were in our group, Netherlands were in our group. We played at Wembley. We drew 2-2, and Ronald Koeman scored a free kick from like 40 yards.
And Northern Ireland got in with Martin O'Neill.
No, mate,
somehow.
'94.
Martin O'Neill's Northern Ireland got into that side. Into that World Cup.
Well, I don't know.
think.
Did they?
I always remember.
Was Martin O'Neill manager in 1994?
I think he was
No,
playing.
he would
I
have been
might
at
be
Leicester there.
Played, innit?
I'm pretty sure.
He was playing then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Crazy.
He was class at Leicester, weren't he?
No,
Mozzie,
none of the Irish
Savage,
sides in the Euros.
Pesky.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah, that
Scotland.
Leicester team. That big, remember that big bald fella at the back, Elliot?
Yes.
Jerry Taggart, was he part of that?
Yeah, Taggart. I met Taggart once. I did some. What? And when Leicester won the league,
Yeah, that was
we did
mental.
something with Jerry.
What, you met
Taggart.
Jerry Taggart?
Yeah, we did something with him
That's amazing.
at the Man United Leicester game,
What?
which I thought was.
Oh, is that who you played? They played you last day of the season.
Because Vardy come and equaled Van Nistelrooy's record, or
That's
broke it or
right.
something.
What did is he the celeb that they wheel out?
Well, he was then. Now they must wheel out Robert Oof or something.
Yeah, Jerry Taggart. I remember going to Man City for years, and they had nobody to wheel out. They just wheel out Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton's. We went up there. I don't know.
To be fair, all their legends are still playing.
Kalu and Wright Phillips scored for us. Ricky Hatton's on the pitch. Like, why is he here? It's like just because really. There's nobody else at the
On the
moment.
pitch, what do you mean? Doing like
Just
the,
like
the
doing,
announcements
just
and all
like
that?
just waving at half
Yeah,
time.
I've seen him a few times.
Oh, don't shake hands.
I saw him in Istanbul, actually. It was amazing.
Hey, Ricky.
I've always been such a massive fan of Ricky
You watched
Hatton.
any of his documentary?
No,
Mate, I've
No.
seen a bit of it. I didn't realise his dad was such a problem.
really, yeah.
God, horrible.
Really, yeah.
it's like really horrible. Yeah, it's a great
He's
doc,
lost
you
so
know.
much weight. Because remember,
Yeah.
he used to be really... Now he's lost a lot. I think he's trying to fight
But they
again,
used to
isn't
call
he?
him the fat man, didn't they?
Did they?
Do you remember when he came into the ring in a big fat suit?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Hit Manhattan, he became Fat Man.
You used to have Wayne Rooney walk him out and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, he used
Just
to go.
Wazza and Ricky Hatton just walking
used
out
to-
with bare belts.
Yeah,
It's so
he
good.
used to go for a breakfast in a cafe in Manchester or Stockport, wherever it was. The breakfast he used to eat, man, nobody could eat it. You know, it was like one of those massive plates, black pudding and all that. But he's amazing. I went to that Mayweather Hatton fight in 2007, maybe.
I've always been a Mayweather fan, and I remember like that was the only fight I wanted Hatton to lose.
Yeah, I used to love Hatton. Oi!
Oh.
My MSN Messenger picture was that picture of Mayweather in the United shirt, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it was the 08 United shirt, so
Yeah.
like it was pretty good times.
He got outclassed in that fight.
Yeah. Pinged into his
Oh.
own corner, didn't he?
Yeah. That is a foul by Tarkovsky. I love how Tarkovsky had like, I don't know how much Rhea weighs, 13, 14
Yeah,
stone
just
on
on
his
his
head, and
back, he
just
didn't
stood
care.
there like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you're going to move off my head, mate."
Yeah.
It's a good result for Rhea, a clean sheet. Ramsdale's got
You
absolutely
reckon
no
Ramsdale's
ammunition.
like,
Yeah,
please
he shit
chuck one
himself.
in?
Shit himself.
Is Ramsdale dropped or is he protected for
I think he starts
Europe? Who
against
starts in
PSV.
Europe?
If it's my opinion, it's Rhea. Has to be the best
No,
keeper every time.
no, but not your opinion. Do you think that? Do you
I
think
think as
that
a world,
Arteta?
he plays kind of 2.
Also, we don't know if Ramsdale's got a little tweak in his back. Or
me.
He could be anything.
He played against Scotland.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
But there's a reason
got
there
injured
why
in
he could
that.
have a
well, if
little
he was
injury.
injured, then he would have got taken off.
No, but there's a lot of injuries where you could still be on the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, without knowing the full story. I don't know, did Arteta say before the game what it was? No.
Big old win this for Arsenal, though. It's annoying. Big win because this is a ground where they usually lose.
Yeah, they were always going to win.
No, they weren't. Not here. Not
I know
good.
that their record
The
there
record's
isn't good.
terrible.
but Once I seen that, I was like, yeah.
But even
I'm
last
into
season,
that.
it was hard for them last season.
Everton, the one thing with Everton, yeah, like, you can say they've been defensively sound. They haven't conceded much chances to Arsenal today or whatever. But usually they have some form of threat going the other way.
Yeah, they've had
even
nothing,
with
have
free
they?
kicks.
Yeah,
or-
they've
There's
had
just
nothing.
nothing,
There's no
man.
spirit there.
They've never ever looked like scoring in this game.
It must be such a slog supporting them. You know, if you got a season ticket in that Gladys Street and you got to go and watch this turgid performance after turgid performance. Look, Arsenal are like head and shoulders. Look, every ball, every 50-50, everything is Arsenal.
There we go.
All except for that one.
Yeah, he's giving it away, but let's see what happens.
Wow.
What
the
is
fuck was
that?
Calvert-Lewin gets the ball. It's a great turn away from the defender, and he flicks it across the face of goal. Strange. Does he think someone's on the shoulder?
Has he tried to
I
flick?
think he's just messed it up, hasn't he?
Is he dinking that to back post?
No, he's just messed it up. He's just made a complete pig's ear of the situation.
But what is he messing up? A shot or a pass?
Has he tried to hit it with the inside of his foot and he's hit it with the outside of his foot? That's
Weird, man. Why has he still got the mask on? Is he not? Is he
He
healed
had-
up?
The other day, someone.
His cheek in it
Smashed
opened
him
up.
up.
Open up again.
His cheek opened up. Yeah.
Does he get sacked then, Sean Dyche?
No,
in a
he
couple of
doesn't.
weeks?
But
He's
not
perfect
now.
manager
Not now.
for
I'm
this
just
but
saying.
he should.
No, he
off results. I mean, it's not good.
Mate, he's had a full summer to get
Who'd
this
you
lot
bring in?
geared up for the season.
Who'd you bring in?
I don't know. The equivalent of De Zerbi.
No, everyone could say that though.
Yeah, we'll go and find whoever that. I don't
Bournemouth.
know.
United need the
Mate,
equivalent of Sir Alex Ferguson.
If I could pinpoint,
Find it.
no, but De Zerbi existed. De Zerbi.
You know, Bournemouth, for example, they think that Areola's the next
Exactly.
Deserving, and he's not. He's not.
I don't know. I
He's
mean, they,
definitely not.
they look good today. I'll tell you that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Mate, they didn't look good today.
Because Chelsea were really
You were
good.
honest.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, well, we were good, so they really had to perform well. Yeah, yeah, they had to be on their game today, mate. Whew.
Oh, jeez.
How have we drawn with Bournemouth?
It's a positive
today?
result for you.
How have we
No,
drawn?
but why are you getting so worked up? Because actually, think about it. It's more than 0 points. It's 1 point. One is more than zero.
Good, it's good, yeah, it's good.
It could have been 0,
Could have been.
but it was 1. So it's 1 is greater than 0. I get it.
It's
It's
how
a clean
numbers
sheet as well.
work.
Clean sheet? What's wrong with a clean sheet? Everton would bite your hand off for a clean sheet, mate. You should be, lucky. Luton Town would bite your hand off for a clean sheet. Sheffield United would bite your hand off for a clean sheet. It's a great result. Can you cut back to Rory? Thanks.
Ugh, yeah, mate, we're so bad. I just don't know what's going on. I really don't.
I think the proof's just in the pudding. You don't have any
Right,
good
you're
players.
barred from saying that
Yeah, you
because
can't
you've
stop
said
that.
that so many times today.
Can't-
Not today.
You
Proof
have.
in the pudding.
No, you said
I've
it.
not
You said it
that
at
today.
least 5
No,
times
I've
today.
not.
Yeah, you have.
Until you tell me where the saying comes from, you can't say it again.
What do you mean the proof's in the
Where
pudding?
does it
Also, that's not. You're
comes from
saying the
this country.
saying wrong. The
Well,
saying
no.
is incorrect. That's not the saying.
Comes from
The,
this
the
country.
saying
The
is
proof is in the pudding.
no.
It
That
is.
doesn't make sense, does it? What does that
The
mean?
proof is in the pudding. That's the saying.
No, that's not
Lads,
the
Google
saying.
it at home. Google
No,
it at home.
Google it at home.
The
Why do you
proof's
do
in the
this?
pudding.
It's not the proof is in the pudding.
Proof. Is it a
Mate, that doesn't. Tell me what it means. Explain it
It
to me.
means that when something happens, right, the outcome is kind of the thing that happens.
Are
right?
you thick? The proof is in the pudding makes no sense. Do you think the saying?
If this
you're
mic,
saying-
if this mic's not connected to the electricity, yeah, the proof's in the pudding. It's not working because there's no proof
Mate,
it's working.
The saying is the proof of the pudding is in the eating because that makes sense.
That's not the saying.
Of course, that's the saying.
No. Well, mate, look, sayings are different from
The
around the
proof
country.
of the pudding
Yeah, I've used
is
it a
in
different
the
way.
eating. You said
Yeah.
the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, the
What
proof's in the
proof is in what pudding? What pudding are you talking?
That is a saying. Someone Google it.
No,
for God's
it's
sake.
not. The proof of the pudding is
He's
in the
Googled
eating.
it. I'm right.
Who? You're obviously not
I am.
right.
No, it's your
Explain
saying
to me
is
why
a
I'm
shortened
right. Explain
down,
to me why I'm right.
shorthand version of his.
It isn't.
The saying goes,
proof
the
of the
proof
pudding
is in the pudding.
eating.
If it's in the pudding,
No,
then
no,
the proof of it
but
is
that's
there.
like saying-
the proof is in the pudding.
That's like saying the
the
grass is
saying.
always
That is
greener.
not the saying.
That's the saying as well.
But,
Well
no,
done.
but it's
Let's
like,
do
but
that.
what I'm saying is the saying, the actual saying is much longer than the grass is.
Yeah,
greener.
but people use the saying. The proof is in the pudding.
No,
that's what
there
they
is
say.
no. That doesn't make sense,
Why
does
do
it?
you do that?
The proof is not in any pudding. The
I'm not saying it's actual
the proof
pudding.
of the pudding
I'm not saying
is
it's
in the
actual pudding.
eating. To know if there's any proof, you have to
I
eat
want
the
a
pudding.
poll.
Is the
I want a poll.
expression.
Is the expression the proof is in the pudding?
That
is just
doesn't
a
make
short,
sense.
It does.
That's not even English.
That's the saying.
The proof's in the pudding.
That's the saying.
The proof's in the pudding.
That's
is
what people say.
No,
It
of course
is.
not.
Millions of people say it on the
Nobody
country.
says that because nobody's illiterate like
Honestly,
you.
the
You're
proof-
the illiterate
the proof
one.
is in
You can tell
the
it's a
pudding.
good game.
The proof is in the pudding doesn't make sense.
It does.
How can it
Because
make
the
sense?
saying refers to the fact that if you can see something in the pudding, then the proof of it is there.
No.
The proof is
And
in the
what
pudding.
What can you see in a pudding? How can you see that there's proof in a pudding if you haven't eaten it? The proof of the
So,
pudding
Jack,
is in the eating.
I need Jack
You
to.
eat
I
the
need Jack.
pudding.
He's got Google.
You have to eat the
Google
pudding.
it. Yeah, I'm right.
You
he hasn't got his headphones
isn't
on.
right.
He's not
I
right.
am
He's
right.
not right, you
Why am I
idiot.
right? What does
The
it say?
proof of the pudding is in the eating, you
Wikipedia.
utter buffoon.
Wikipedia.
I can't deal with this today.
What's the
Chelsea
poll?
have been terrible. I've watched the worst game of football in the world.
87% of the chat think that I'm right. 87%.
How can they
Do you know
think
how hard
that?
it is to
How
get that?
can- how
That's a
can they
super
say-
majority.
You're right, but it's the shorthand
not
version
right.
of what he said.
I am
The
right.
proof's in the pudding makes
You're
no
saying
fucking
it's the full
sense.
The
It
The
doesn't
proof's
make
in the
any
pudding.
sense.
The proof is in the pudding with
The
Rory
proof
Jennings.
is
The
in
proof is in the pudding
It
with
doesn't
Rory
make
Jennings.
sense. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Thank God this game is over. What a terrible day. What a terrible day of football. And then I've got to suffer the illiterate nature
What,
of
87% of our loyal
87
audience?
of your loyal audience are illiterate. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Makes sense. The proof is in the pudding. Makes you illiterate. And this game of football was fucking diabolical.
It was awful.
And Chelsea have drawn 0-0 with Bournemouth. Everything has gone wrong today.
Shocking.
And then you and your
But my
illiteracy.
saying that's 87% right. So
No, it
you
wasn't
live in the
87%
13%.
right. Mate,
Get your head out of the sand. Get your head out of the sand.
87%.
Just because you've not heard of something, Roy, doesn't mean it don't exist, mate. Okay?
Mate, I'm
go on.
actually speaking. I'm actually like,
Listen.
I'm raging.
These
with,
two are going to debate this till the cows come home, which is another saying that is that no, yeah, no. Thank you to Super Six for sponsoring us. Unfortunately, we didn't have a winner of the £250,000.
If only went 1-0, man.
If only it was 4-1 to Arsenal, then we would have had a winner.
4-1. That's a crazy result. I
mental.
don't want to shit on him or anything, but
Yeah.
4-1.
Well, they
It's
got
never
more-
gonna be
they got
4.
more points
He
than
did
you.
5 out of 6 bang on, and he thought 4-1.
He did more
Come
points
on.
than you.
Yeah, I got more points than you. So why are
You
you
haven't.
talking?
I got 8.
did. Yeah, I might be around 8 or 9 as well. So.
9. It'd be difficult to get 9.
Yeah, you can't get 9. Anyway, thank you for tuning into the club. You guys have been absolute amazing guests. Thank you to Rory. Thank you to Buvey. Make sure you subscribe into the channel as well. The podcast is released every single Monday. That's out tomorrow. So make sure you're checking that out. We'll have loads going on throughout the week as well. We got another face-off coming up because the North London derby next weekend. And we had Miles against Flav, which was very, very interesting. If you haven't checked out our debate as well, which I thought was world-class, then go and check that out. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Super 6. Thank you to these clowns. We'll see you later.